Let's see how they're going to play this out. Coop's got that mini 14 looking for that long-range headshot.
I'm also looking at S2G on the northeast side of the circle right now, Jukes. They have to push in, and as a 4, do you go in the shadow of Horror, or do you try and sweep down and push past Flash? But it is a difficult approach for S2G, and they do not have long to make that choice. I feel like they are committed much more up to the north edge and could potentially challenge Horror on that northern side.
Let's see how this is going to play out. Schwepp's got the high ground as well. This is still only stage 4 here, folks. Admino does get knocked, though, from Godlike and flushed. So it's only going to be 2 players up for the side of Godlike. OG in the same boat with the duo. Driving around, just trying to get a little bit of intel. Doc is nearby. You got to watch out for that. Meanwhile, Aura from the high ground are trying to catch S2G out on the rotate here. Sleepy is able to put some suppressive fire, keep him away for now. Kamikaze's buggy is smoking, and he's going to get popped out of here by No Fear.
Oh, that is a scary sight, pressing the ridgeline, No Fear. Spiking the heart rate of S2G as they try and make their way in. They did have to make that choice in the end. But moving in, they've managed to get 3 through. And into a position which is at least tenable, but not really super beneficial to their long-term prospects. In the circle, though, which is good. Not the same can be said for Nick the Galaxy, E-Arena, Flash, Ulf. These teams going to have to move when the time comes. So, a good result, but if they keep getting picked apart with Razy still doing bits. Hang on a minute, no, that was over the sky. So, Horror are suffering. This solo long ranger on the north edge, Vitality, letting us know. Okay, this is the replay of the 1v, I think 3.
Yeah, there we go. Yasser catches him out as he pops out the vehicle. And then, pow, beautiful use of that ridgeline. Razy just picking apart Aula. Those mistakes, man, making it look easy there.
Yeah, that was pretty clean. Swaps out to the bayonet as well for the final moment. I wanted him to run it through there a little bit. That would have been the coolest. But you know what? You're looking pretty cool already. Razy still with a knife fixed at the end of the barrel.
Yes, indeed. Let's see what Razy can do with it. He's going to be holding on to that AUG as well. No Fear up on top of the hill, doing a good job of applying that suppressive fire on these teams trying to find a way into this next zone. Oh, Crazy. Soaking up the points as a solo here for Team Vitality.
I mean, since he's been a solo, he's gotten 4 eliminations. He's weakened Horror's hold on this northern side as well, which I think is a really big factor here. With 4 players, Horror are basically unable. With 3, that's a different kind of. Ulf could potentially have an opening road towards them if they don't go down in this spot because Sleep.
Potent, so we can only do. Oh, I missed.
Oh God. Don't do it.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're disgusting.
I managed to take all of the Cheeto dust out of the controllers that were on the stage and create this couch cushion from one of the practice rooms. I heard that the players did not leave this baby for 24 hours straight. And so we got this beautiful essence. This is gonna be a fantastic perfume. I feel like we just gotta mix it up a little bit.
Oh God.
Smells amazing. You have no idea how amazing this smells. It smells like resolve. It smells like perseverance. It smells like desperation. It smells like esports.
Don't put it near me.
Just a little bit.
No.
I promise. Can you just try?
Oh.
Ooh.
It's disgusting.
That'll come off. I promise. That'll.
Oh God! Don't touch me! Don't touch me! You're me off. Every day I come with her. Every day she's something up.
Le esport. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the EWC Spotlight. Get it? Because we started with the spotlight.
Did you do that?
Do you understand that? I did. I cued that.
That timing was incredible. Well
right?
done.
Yeah. Like, usually there's, you know, someone with a light switch or something. It's under my chair. So if I just do one of these, everything flips.
Careful, don't do it again.
I was a little concerned. I know, right? But oh, I forgot. We're doing a show. Yes, it's the EWC Spotlight. We're going to cover everything that you have seen so far. I've got Johnny Boy and Glitter Explosion joining me today. Johnny Boy, do you have your own theme song whenever you walk out onto the stage?
Oh,
I wish I did. I don't think so. I've never heard one before, so I'm gonna safely say no on that.
Could you select your own theme song?
I'd have to think about that, but it would be boring because I am quite boring, so it wouldn't be that exciting.
oh,
Show him up. If he's going to be boring, what will your theme song be?
Bad Bunny.
Bad Bunny? Mm-hmm. What song from Bad?
Pick any.
Just literally any.
And I'm golden.
The entire Super Bowl playlist.
Yes. Me.
It's just you coming out. I love
The
that.
whole length of it, though. You have to wait, and that's
Right, yeah.
Until
I
it's
think the
done.
intermission. Mine is Colors by Flo, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. But we got to talk about what we've seen so far over at the STC Arena. We've had a little bit of Rocket League, and oh boy, there are some surprises.
You got there, yeah. There are plenty of surprises. I mean, most surprising, what we've just seen, the draw. The playoffs have been drawn, and they're all same region quarterfinals, so there's no cross-region
Dang.
quarterfinals at all. 2 EU versus EU, 1 MENA versus MENA, 1 NA versus NA. I'm just looking at this thinking, how have we avoided even one cross-region matchup? But that's the way it is.
Is that allowed?
Apparently it is.
Wow.
It's in the rules.
It's going to be spicy.
There's
It is, well,
script writers backstage.
It's
Oh, well, yeah,
matches
that's
we've
true.
seen before, but then it's also a chance to do it on LAN because you don't get those matches on LAN that often. So it is a bit different. We get to see, are they really the best team in the region? Because if you can beat the team online, that's one thing, but to do it on LAN, of course, that's where you really need to prove your point.
I love that.
But walk us through how we got to the draw, because of course we did get to see a little bit of overtime.
Yes, yeah, lots of overtimes, lots of close matches, a lot of close games, and you know, even the teams that are getting eliminated, it's not all bad. So I'm thinking NRG had a big regain today. They like started the tournament with the worst possible result they could have, and you know, had a bit of a regain before being eliminated. So you've got to take the good with the bad if you're an NRG fan. Yeah, I think that's the story for a lot of the teams at EWC.
Okay, and then circling back to the draw show for a second, what did you think about the technique when selecting the balls, where we had like a little bit of like a little finger, kind of like curl it up? But I don't know, how would you rate that technique?
I don't hate it. You kind of have to go off vibes. You have to, you know, go for whichever ball you're feeling, really. And clearly, they were feeling regional matchups.
What would be the alternative methods if
Straight
you're looking to?
You gotta like dunk in like you're digging for the king size candy bar in like the Halloween bag, where you just go in and you have to feel it. There's none of this like, oh, maybe this one, oh, maybe this one. It's a vibe.
Yeah.
Claw hand style.
Claw hand style.
Yeah, also with 4 options, I mean, it didn't really seem like it was doing much when we're mixing them. We're not really mixing them, are we? We're just spinning them around.
I don't know if I'm ready to take any type of like tech advice, theme song advice, or anything from Johnny Boy. So Glitter, I'm just gonna come to you as we talk about our next stage over at the Kadia City Grid.
Sure.
We had some PUBG Mobile.
Sure did. We're 4 matches into the finals, and just beginning, really. You know, there's still many games left in the competition, but when it comes to the storylines that we're really paying attention to, at the top right now, we've got Arena. Then CC side, we're also paying attention to Vitality and Aurora Gaming. 4th for Aurora, 6th for Vitality. But I feel like that isn't painting an accurate picture, right? Because only 4 matches in out of 18, that's nothing. So we still have a lot of action left to go.
Excited to see what happens there next. But moving on over at the Lenovo Legion, or excuse me, rather the Alliance Vault stage, we got a little bit of chess going on, and some surprising faces are maybe on the way out.
I mean, yeah, I'm surprised. I think chess from the games that are currently happening, that's the one that I'm second most familiar with after Rocket League. And I was thinking, looking at this, well, it's got to be Magnus versus Hikaru in the final, right? No, Hikaru eliminated, which I'm very surprised to see. I'm thinking, I'll go along and catch that, match when it happens, and now it's not going to happen.
You thought you were going to get what you were looking for, but it was AGAL. It was GM Dennis, who I feel like it qualifies a little bit as an upset with taking out GM Hikaru, because I think a lot of people were planning on Hikaru being in the top after the performance last year. Still a top 4 for Falcons, so it's still a really good performance. But AGAL, top of the leaderboard in CC, now they're actually getting pretty far in chess.
Yeah, I think that I have it in my notes here that AGAL have become the first club to break 4,000 club championship points so far.
That tracks.
Hello?
That tracks.
Hello?
So what's that done for their chances now to just straight up win?
A 1 versus 2, but Fury are now sat with their players rolling across the open zone, and Sleepy finds another. 3 players now left for him to deal with, but there's a P90 outside. He's behind those trees. I don't think it's gonna work. No siree. Brazil able to find the chicken dinner here, and Furia fight back.
It's about time. We knew that chicken dinner was only gonna take a little while, and it happened to be just 2 matches here into day number 2. So Furia get the win, and the crowd is pumped up for their team here. A huge win for the side of Brazil.
Absolutely beautiful stuff. I think it was 9 elims towards the end, something in that region. It's a massive jump for them, as we talked about on these longer game sets. 18 matches, a game like that can really give you the foundation that you need to jump up to be in contest. With E-Arena going down fairly early, with Enigma Galaxy going down fairly early, a couple of elims on side for these teams, but that is going to put a dent in the gap, and that's exactly what you need to be doing. Keeping that mindset on side of every single game, the points we profit, that is 1 step closer to the title.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is right there. Nice play, though, from Sleepy to be able to get that 1v2 on S2G. Gets a couple more points on the board and some extra placement points as well. But you know what? The board is going to be, the leaderboard going to be balanced out a little bit right now, because like you mentioned, top teams go out, teams in that mid-pack start moving their way up. But I think that inequality is going to be coming right back, because guess where we're headed now?
Oh yeah, it's going to be a little bit toasty over on Rondo next, which is very, very exciting stuff. We've already seen, 2 1v4s, at least 1 1v3, a couple more. Why not throw them in there? It's basically just what happens at this stage. But yeah, I mean, the Razy solo 1v3 on the north side there, beautiful. The impact he had also cannot be ignored. If 4 players were alive for Horror in those final circles, I think they win that.
Yeah.
Without Razy having that impact, it completely changes the dynamic. It allows Furia to be so much more free and easy on that western side. The suppressive force of Horror on that north edge is so much assuaged. So I think that is a very, very important part of that last game that maybe flew under the radar for a couple people.
Yeah, you got to be hyped up for Razy. 1v3, then finish him with a 1v2. And you guys got a 1v1, and watch the rest of these matches coming up in just a bit.
This ain't no regular thing. Came for the ring, you know what I mean. You see my name in the lights. Better get right, I'm champion.
What's happening, everybody? Jackie Powers here, joined by two absolute legends of the Sidemen. We got Ethan and Toby in the building, just arrived in France. You enjoying your time at PMWC here at EWC, boys?
Absolutely. It's my third year on the trot coming to this. So yeah, really excited to see what today's got on offer.
First time here in France, so actually we're really excited.
What, just generally first time?
No, not generally, but this in France. Normally it's like in Saudi, but here in France, it's exciting.
You enjoying it though? Getting on with the vibes? Bit different, right?
Yeah, we got in early on the train this morning, so took a little bit of waking up, but I think we're into the swing of things now.
You always look fresh. Both you do. You've come out giving it. You got the style on the go, so I can't complain, boys. And there you go.
You're showing us up. Yeah, can we get a fit check, please? Fit check.
Great.
Hey, look,
you look unreal. The turtleneck, he looks amazing. The watch strap, look.
Wow.
Ugh.
That's what we do. That's what we do at PUBG Mobile. We've got a bit of a different vibe on the go. I know you love a bit of PUBG Mobile yourself, but you've been enjoying the chicken dinners? Caught any of the glimpses of
I
games?
haven't caught any glimpses just yet, but they're going crazy as we speak. We've got a little glimpse of a screen up there, and I can't wait to watch some of it.
It's going to be big. I think we've had a lot of interaction from the fans this event, which has been cool. A lot of different nations. So it's been super loud. We've had drummers. We've had like cymbals. Mate, I've seen instruments I've never seen before.
I thought it was a football game. I heard it. It was crazy. I can't believe there's drums at an esports event.
It's unreal.
They've kind of been getting sick with it too. One of our commentator talent basically used to be a drummer. So he's been sat there every game, mate. He's watching in the background. I just want to get involved. I want to teach him a new beat.
He's loving it. He's loving it.
You any good on the instruments yourself, pal?
Me, no. So Jizzle, however, he has an own producer back in his day, you know.
I dabble.
Hey, we got to get you in there. We could cook something spicy up with the fans, right?
No. It's been a long time.
EWC anthem? Come on.
I don't quite have the same rhythm as I used to, you know what I mean?
Could be a nice tie-in. We'll get that in for the next charity match, no?
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. That would be sick. Look, it's going to be a good time. We got about, all of today, so about 6 games overall today, and then tomorrow we go into the final finals, last 6 games. We got some big orgs here, boys. Couple big names. You got like 4 Thrives. They're coming out, showing up. Vitality, legendary esports orgs, right? Orangutan as well. They've come in bossing it.
Orangutan all the way. Come on, orangutans. Listen, this ginger bearded beast.
My orangutan.
Yeah, come on. Go on, the orangutans.
Oh, mate. I hope they do you justice.
Yeah,
they've been looking good, honestly. They've been looking good. So we're saying orangutan
go
chicken dinners all the way.
Let's go.
All right, let's see what happens, boys. Always a pleasure.
Pleasure,
any
mate.
Final words before we send this one back?
Up the EWC, up the PUBG Mobile, bosh.
We'll see you later, guys.
Thank you, Jackie. And I agree, Jackie. You look good today. You look good every single day. And so do we. Joined by Lace, Calaris, Natura, and once again, the 7WG. But we got to talk about Furia, that last match. The Brazilian aggressiveness was there. And boy, did they show it.
Didn't they just? I'm so excited. Furia's back. Let's all jump. No, but he's just gone. Okay, my show now. Furia, right? Furia was on top of it. I really enjoyed how they were actually able to play that so well, right? You've got the duo of Ayala. There we go, I got it.
Yeah.
Ayala and Silence, both of them just coming in onto that third party against Nongshim, then over onto EA, just wiped them completely, no point about it. The 2-2 split coming up onto the western side, making sure that Furia couldn't, making sure that S2G couldn't go around to the south side, but also pressuring Hora to actually push into S2G at the same time. Very well played. Good control of the teams, good control of the zone, and the timing was really good. They backed it up with firepower as well. You're seeing 9 eliminations. 19-point game is exactly what they needed.
I just absolutely love the fact that they sort of, like you were saying, they had that sort of western side of the mountain. Hora had such a great setup though, right?
Yes.
So I was getting a little bit scared in the I guess final moments because that zone closing in pushes them off the mountain. But HiGuard's just down there scouting for the entire team, able to get that little 1v1 out of the way, and then having that sight so that when they obviously descent down the mountain, Sleepy comes down the mountain further through this and just cleans it up easily. Their timing today, Neptura, why aren't we Furia fans? Just backing you up. That was just such a smooth play from them, and when we're used to just seeing them get in a vehicle, charge down, whatever, this is more strategic and smart from them. Very exciting.
I was scared for Furia, though. I thought we were going to see some drive-bys that we ended up seeing from them yesterday that ended up backfiring. But for Hora Esports, I got to give them even more prop scale because they had a 3-1 split on that mountain that ended up working out perfect, especially when the circle didn't go their way.
There's multiple facets to it, right? Hora, when it comes to them controlling that kind of mountain, La Cabrera is somewhere they oftentimes go go to. They've actually abandoned that and gone to Valdemar on most of these Miramars. They had to abandon their loot phase quite early to make that extreme wide rotate based on those sort of shifts that were going north to get onto that mountain fast. And I think they really understood how to hold down on that location well, to the point where they were having to deal with certain circumstances that they didn't want to have to, like trying to cordon off Ulf as they're trying to move forwards as well. So an very impressive game here by Horror, absolutely.
It is. S2G as well, being able to collect some points in this last match too. And one team that was able to collect even more points that definitely needs them, Orangutan. Collecting 7 eliminations. It's something that we've been wanting to see out of this squad, being able to frag out a little bit more. I know yesterday we saw the passiveness out of OG that we're so used to seeing, but being able to just bounce back. And it's actually not Aru by himself. It's Atanki coming out with 3 eliminations.
I mean, it's great. I mean, I think in the group stage we saw more from WizGod than from Atanki, but he's coming in really, really nice. Ara, the IGL, also stepping up as a fragger as well, which is really, really nice to see. So very excited to see, very excited to see what we're going to be looking at into the next Rondo, for instance, right? Getting the that momentum on the Miramar is like 7 eliminations on a Miramar already. What's Rondo going to be holding in store for them?
Feels weird that we're doing Rondo, not at the start of the day.
It does, doesn't it?
But anyway.
It's like, okay, well, mid-game, mid-Rondo. Mid-Rondo. It's a mid-Rondo.
You know what it reminds me? I said it earlier and I'll say it again. It reminds me of when we used to have Sandhog at the halfway point.
Oh, yeah.
Where teams that weren't performing well, that would kind of use Sandhog to just spark up their day. But talking about Rondo, let's look at the top teams right now from Rondo. You got Enigma Galaxy up there. Aurora Gaming so far really hasn't had the best start to the day, especially when we're looking at the Miramars. But going into Rondo, we saw what they were able to do yesterday, and I'm hoping that Aurora is going to be bouncing back here.
Yeah, you'd like to think so, right? I actually do think that there's definitely been lulls in some of the performances internationally as well, and obviously this team for a long time, when with that Alpha Gaming, etc., and things like that, everyone was hoping that eventually they'd hit it big, eventually be able to get one of those big titles. Actually, coming into that day one, I thought to myself, wait a minute, is this the time? Is this the time Aurora Gaming actually finally makes it happen? Because they were able to be up towards the top. They've slipped a little bit, especially with the arena looking as well as they have done so far. But there's still a chance. There's still hope.
Yeah, for Aurora right now, 34-point gap. So I am hoping that we're going to be seeing some insane gameplay out of them, especially going into Rondo. We have seen E-Arena put up 29 eliminations. Can anybody get even close? We saw the aggressiveness out of Furia with the third parties too, but we got to talk about Enigma Galaxy been performing well as well. And what I really enjoy about Enigma Galaxy so far is the way that they've been getting those placement points outside of their win. You can see them being able to be consistent.
Exactly. They've got 14 placement points outside of that win. So they are really making sure they hit that podium time and time again, backing it up with eliminations. And again, this is something that I saw yesterday from Enigma Galaxy, is their timing is on point. Coops is back in his prime, it feels like, and the whole team is rallying around that. So the timing is really good. The synergy is very good. They're holding, they're waiting, they're making other teams play for them instead of doing all the dirty work themselves. It's a really, really nice control play that we're seeing from Enigma, and it's working out beautifully.
I mean, I just want to quickly touch on Ulf, because we were a little bit worried about them at the start. We're like, what kind of plan do they have going forward? It's good, it's wins, it's that, it's not, it's dropping. That one, the vehicle sent. They're actually in like a 2-2 split hold, and they were like, what do we do? Let's take the vehicle. Let's wedge Tiamba up against that and able to sort of decimate that entire squad. Obviously, the rest of the team sort of joined in that position, but look, they're making split decisions quickly when that moment comes. Is it bad that these decisions have to be made incredibly quickly because they didn't plan it out beforehand? A little bit, but look, they can capitalize on it.
It is. One team that I'm going to be looking to hopefully capitalize here in Rondo as well when we're talking about eliminations is going to be none other than Tiamba. Tiamba has been quite slow today. We've seen them just going down that ranking, and it's a team that needs to be able to bounce back, because guess what? Yesterday, it was all about eliminations. Yes, they do end up having some placement points, but it wasn't of the likes that we know they're capable, especially with what we saw to Survival.
Yeah, Milu and QZZ have looked fantastic throughout the entire tournament, right? And Milu really rose to the occasion after QZZ was able to get that MVP title on previous internationals. I do think that, yeah, it's been a bit of a slow start for them, but regardless of that fact, there's definitely an opportunity for them to get back to fragging power, fragging potential that we've seen from them in the past.
I'm just looking at Coops right now. He's locked in. Raouf just going around, circling his chair. Satan as well. But Coops, it's all about Coops right now. Hopefully somebody else will be able to step it up from that team as we're going to be going into Rondo. So Hot Jukes, John Allen, take it away. What is Satan looking at?
Here we go. We're headed into Rondo. The match managed to put some massive points on the board. As if Miramar wasn't crazy enough already, it's about to get even crazier.
Maybe it's just something about the start of the day, Jukes. Maybe it wasn't Rondo all along. It was just the first games. Maybe this will be the calmest Rondo we've ever seen.
Yeah, they brought that Rondo energy off the rip, right?
Yeah, they're used to it. Fresh off the breakfast, ready to find their dinner. And that is what we're going to be looking to find here for one of our teams. It will be the case. Maybe a massive early game. We saw it from Milu yesterday. Huge, and the rest of Tianba as well. Huge start to the day yesterday. Not quite as powerful in the game so far today. So hopefully for Tianba, they can find that resurgence here. And if you're an Arena fan, you're hoping that they can continue to make their strides forwards and keep that White Rabbit chase going.
Gotta be able to separate yourself from the rest of this lobby, and if you're gonna do it anywhere, it's Rondo, that's for sure. I mean, we've seen a 39-point game in this tournament. Oh man, well that turned things around from. Look at Team Vitality though, averaging, 4.33 limbs per game, 1,000 damage. It's a great average here. The thing is if you want to win that $500,000 at first place, become the champions, you gotta do something special consistently. So I'm interested to see, right, how these teams are going to fare now that we're playing Rondo for the third match of the day, right? Are they going to be able to keep that aggression up throughout the entire day here? And who's going to be the kings of Neox Factory?
Oh, could be. Or, indeed, somewhere else. Flamepath decides that we don't want to be going to Neox Factory. In general, when you're talking about podium competitors, you're talking about teams who are looking to get about 10 points average. 10 to 12 points average tends to be where we see at the end of these game sets a first place type scoreline being. That generally is a great indicator that you're performing at the level that's needed to rise above the rest. So hopefully our teams will be able to keep that on side. And being able to get, as we were seeing, sort of mid-4 elims average, being able to complement that with placement points is very, very important. There are a couple, I think, of teams who have a distinctly higher average on those elims than others, but it is definitely something that you need to be focusing on to join up at that 10-point average. Because right now, I think quite a lot of our teams are falling short of that metric.
That's a fact here. And if you want to be able to get in that metric, though, this is the place to do it. You can see these players are locked in, they're focused. They understand what's at stake here, just how important Rondo is for your total tally. We only play it 3 times in this whole finals here. And this being the second one.
6.3.
Yeah, 6.3 average from Tianba, man. This squad have been really consistent here. A night and day difference from their group stage performance. And this is the Tianba that we know and love. We expected them to do very well here. And it's only a matter of time. I think they get that right position going, and then we see them get that chicken dinner.
I mean, we want that survival stage, Tianba, right? Yeah. To be able to jump up and compete with the very best. Furia, fresh off of their chicken dinner. Their numbers don't quite display that sort of a storyline just yet, but it is a great start for them to be able to add that one to their tally. And again, it's a real great mental boon to these teams to be able to find a high-scoring game and to be able to close out that game. Sure, maybe the point swing isn't huge depending on how many seconds into those final circles you last, but I feel like there is nothing more relieving than finding that chicken dinner, than converting it. Even if you ignore the 4 extra points you get just on placements alone, it is a massive mental fortitude booster. And you need to keep your head on straight because you are going to get into something crazy very early on. I know it, I love it, it's Rondo and it's ready.
It's ready, these players are hyped up, they're ready to go. I hope y'all guys at home are ready as well because, man, this is just getting started. As the plane is taking off, we're headed to Rondo. Ooh. Okay, we got a little double plane path action here.
Okay, so Neox Factory is accessible from the easternmost plane path, and to be fair, from the west one, but it's unlikely you want to go there because the teams in the east plane will hit the ground so much faster than you. It's much more likely if you're going to hot drop, you go to Yulin, and the same is true vice versa, right? Yulin is further along that plane path. What this is going to do is split these hot drops up. It's going to make them slightly less chaotic, Jukes, but more teams may want to go for them because of that.
Yeah, and those teams that normally like to go to Neox Factory, if you're in that other plane, you're going to be there late, so that's going to put you so far behind. So teams are going to have to adapt on the fly, switch drop locations, and make these decisions very, very quickly here. And you can see, these squads are out. Top players right now. Scarface from Ulf, okay, 16 eliminations. Mormon right behind him, and of course, Milu right there as well.
Yeah, Scarface on those damage numbers as well, right on the heels of Milu. Look at that, only 20 damage points behind. We'll see if that changes very quickly into this match, because teams are now starting to touch down in towards Neox Factory. They'll be grabbing those weapons. Yulin also will now be occupied, and things are going to get hairy quite quickly. As Irina already taking a knock, Tianba as well have already lost one. Irina, by the way, generally preferring to drop out near Stadium, but the plane path they're on didn't assist with that. We saw them hunting down solos in other matches, those solo outposts that are near those recall towers, which are a major feature in Rondo. They were the team to take that dynamically to that fight in a way that we haven't seen from many others. Oh no, S-Power goes down to a guard.
Not good. Schwepp's hurt. They're going to get caught by a beautiful angle from a cop. And that's what happens, is that if you're just so used to dropping in one particular area, switching it up here, sometimes those little angles can catch you off guard. And OG putting in the work here. Gonna be keeping an eye there on the side of Ulf. Ooh, does see Aaron. Now we're gonna switch on over to another fight. Here comes Furia. Applying that pressure to Aura. Sky bandaging here. Waiting to be able to find those angles. He's got some good weapons here, but Ayala gets caught.
A nade forces Sky to reposition away from the corner. Does take a little bit of damage, but that'll be okay. Remember, the recall towers here in Rondo allow teams to get their players back up and alive, so early fights are the norm. Silence rolling around the edge of this corner, trying to suppress Sleepy, but the UMP in hand gives him a little bit of confidence, and the nade to back it up. Flings across his sightlines. No Fear does go down on a trade, and now Ayala's looking to break wide to change the tune of this fight, and looks for more with Chief at his back. Sky on a sliver of HP just about finds the retreat, but there's a re-engage around the corner.
Chief would have had that, but he ran out of ammunition. Now he's going to have to make a play. Ayala there with the assist, and great work for the side of Furia. They're going to go ahead and take out Aura, put some early points on the board, and they should be able to pick up Silence here. Now they're going to start laser focusing towards the side of Four Thrives. Four Thrives creeping in on this one. A little late to this third party, and now they're going to have to battle a pretty kitted and well set up Furia.
Four Thrives, they got some loot on side as well, though not too many nades. In fact, no nades for T24. Neox Factory's been popping off as well. I think Ulf bore the brunt of a lot of damage pouring on their way. See some elims coming through from Orangutan. Doing bits, but ooh, okay. Ulf may have a little bit of vengeance here, as Eren is still in the firefight. Tianba with their position on the south edge. Spot Tizzy sending away, but Tizzy wants to re-engage on the door frame. It's not going to work out well for the first spray, but suppresses the angle. QZZ with the nade cooking. Drops around the corner, but Hyunbin evades the damage.
Oh shit, Red for super aggression here. Looking to get some of them early eliminations. Hyunbin with the laydown, wide out in the open! Catches QZZ with the spray. Just keeps that suppressive fire on that window, catches him on the re-peek, and a great turnaround there. Two superstars battling it out. Now Tizzy, oh, look at that instant peek back. These angles, Nongshim Red Force so good at these CQC angles, man, and Hyunbin putting in the work, forcing Tianba to have to do a full res on their team.
Getting those flushes nice and quickly. Nongshim Red Force with 2 elims. They're up to 4 now, but they've got another team to try and deal with. Orangutan sidling on into the fight. Tizzy using the bus's cover. There's a nade from a tanky, but the pin goes back in. And Eren, the solo left in the situation for Ulf, is going to find the backlines for Orangutan and slow their approach towards this Nongshim outpost. The 2 players they've got there can just live a little bit longer, but a tanky keeps the pressure up, and Orangutan keep marching.
Man, great movement from the side of Tizzy and Hyunbin. They are outplaying so many of these players here. So good at this urban fighting. Their peaks, their timing, just impeccable. Wizgod, though, with that nade, looks good. Tizzy jumps away and gets peppered only a little bit. Pulls the pin again. And you can see they're utilizing those doors so well. But how about that nade? That one looks good.
Ooh.
Tizzy jumps away from it once again. He's not falling for that one.
I like the attempted utilization of the smoke to stop the vision on the nade arc as it was coming on through. But Tizzy read that one nicely. Knew exactly what they were going for. That nade doesn't connect either. Still has a couple more. The shotgun around the corner. Steps in for it. Wins the trade. And immediately Eren snaffles that point away for Ulf. He's up to 3 elims there on the inside. This guy's doing bits. The rest of Ulf are happy to hang out near Danqing on that south side and let Eren roar over in Neok's factory, because it still has yet to conclude. Aurora, I think, still have a solo in that spot as well. And Eren does finally go down to Godlike, who have rolled up into the fight in Neok's factory. A late approach as they were forced away over towards main round.
Now you can see T24 trying to find some angles here. Zypha, ooh, quick shotgun here. He's got the right-hand priority. He should win this. He does. Catches Ayala. And now, shots happening back and forth all over the place here. But Zypha's gonna have to make another play, but suppressive fire. Was that IQ? Yeah, IQ on the other angle, doing a great job of applying that pressure, that headshot. It's gonna be the end of Furia.
Furia, though, well, in this location.
In this location, correct, yes.
Igor's on that south side, very far away from Yulin right now, means that they can get that full reset. The recall towers are still available, and at the moment, only one player is completely down. I think that's about to change as well, as Admino gets back to his feet. Aurora with top. The man on the spot only needs the one shot to take down Salme, and now he wants more. S-Power with the nade, can't quite connect on towards top, but he spots him running up, has the nade cooking. This could be perfect, needs it over the top, a lot of damage, and the spray to convert. That is good for Godlike.
Great work from S-Power there, right? Just staying calm, collected. He had that nade locked and loaded, just goes, chunks it, and just uses his weapon to take down top. So we're gonna see some recall action happening. Everybody pretty much back up for the most part. Only a few players still eliminated. And now you know what? Why don't you guys do us a favor? Get in game and go ahead and pop some of the lucky spins right now. Hopefully you can get one of those exclusive 2026 PMWC tournament sets. So you can be styled and looking good like a lot of these players are. Let's see how S-Power is going to look, though, in this 1v1 against a Tinky. It is India on India action here. That's that Molotov. Oh, yeah, he's like, all right, I'll hold the stairs for a little longer.
Hot footing away from that, doesn't take a tickle, which is good result. Hard southeast shift on this next circle. Pushes us down towards the southeast side. Keeps that northern area above Hungshan in the west of Danqing as well. Ulf, very happy about this. I think their hill there is probably going to play quite well for them, I think, Jukes, and that is a great result for them, given that they're in third place right now. E-Arena in first place. They haven't had an impact on this game so far. They were pushed away very, very quickly. There's S-Power. Holds the corner, but yeah, there's a third-party angle. Well, a second player on the opposing team angle coming on through. That should be, again, still recallable. Manya may opt to go for the recall on the forward position so that he can bolster that and let the back two from Godlike move in behind him.
Yeah, S-Power was like, 1v1 me, bro. And they were like, nah, not today. There's money on the line here. We got to make this happen. Now looking on over to the rest of the fight, though, we got Vitality end up holding a building here. They're going to be popping some shots on over to Enigma Galaxy. Satan trying to drive away, trying to be able to survive here. Lowered in the same position. Enigma Galaxy on the bold rotation. And Satan does end up getting caught and eliminated.
Very messy now on the western side of this circle. A lot of teams forced into a fight that is unfavorable for a rotation that leaves them exposed. We're seeing the results of that now. The recall tower on the south side of the circle, currently under control of Nongshim Red Force. Looks like Godlike may have their forward position on one recall as well, I believe. So they could look for that. Actually, it might be E-Arena who have got control of it out on the east side. In the meantime, 4 Thrives, with their 3 elims so far, have a position near Yulin.
See these teams just starting to get set up here, getting ready for that late game. This is so critical. This is the map to put some points on the board. OG have 5 eliminations. Aurora have 5 as well. So a great start for a few of these teams. Now it's about how you're going to end. Enigma Galaxy down Satan on that rotate, but they do end up finding a spot in this next zone. Pretty central one too, just a little bit on the southern side of it. But we never know where this next circle is going to go.
I mean, Ulf really have got a brilliant position here. They've had a while to establish it as well. On the hilltop that they have so much control over the surrounding area. They have vision every single direction. Everybody else just trying to play in their shadow at the moment. eArena have managed to push in from the east side. And 4 Thrives continuing their hold on the southeast point of Yulin. Doing a little bit against Alula. Godlike suffering once more at the hands of Orangutan. And eArena are actually pushing up to try and third-party split that fight on the north edge and maybe hound down Godlike.
Godlike trying to hold on here. Southern shift. Yeah, indeed for a lot of these teams. S2G, 4 Thrives, eArena not liking that one. Now there's Godlike. But Fudia, they'll take that all day long. Possibly even looking for a back-to-back chicken dinner here. As Aurora, though, that's going to be the team they're going to have to fight because Aurora's going to be pressing into that hard shift side location. Tianba, QZZ knocked. Doing a great job of being able to throw down those smokes very, very quickly here to try to pick up their superstar player. Coops trying to catch some shots into those smokes. They can go ahead and just hold on to that coverage for just a little while longer.
Just a moment longer. Right now, I think that, yeah, we've only seen 3 players really fully confirmed to not be really in with much chance of moving forwards. A lot of recalls coming on through. Almost everyone in the lobby getting back to their feet. Damage going over towards S2G from Coop, but not quite fully connecting.
He's locked in today, man. I mean, those shots were on point. He was hitting them for the little slight angle that he had. He was getting serious value. You know, Tianba's locked in as well. They're just trying to get themselves in a good, solid position. They're in 4th place, 48 points. Not a bad start. But eArena with 75, they're the big threat in this lobby. The Thai squad looking really solid here in the Rondo. 1 elimination, the whole team up. They do have a position on the eastern side of the circle. Aurora right on top of them, though. Let's see what they decide to do here.
I mean, they are certainly alive on this side of the circle, but between Aurora and Ulf, it is a difficult position to try and hold down. And can they get much further forwards? I'm not entirely sure, Schweppes. Oh dear, the flames already licking the front of the bonnet there. And that is going to be an unhealthy vehicle. Not really too reliable when it comes to moving next. But they are safe for the time being next to these 2 teams. I'm looking at Orangutan and 4 Thrives on that north side. Could be a contest around the mountain that sits between them. Godlike, I think, are going to have a difficult time moving in as well. Either they could swing out into the blue zone very, very quickly now and try and rejoin Rita. But if you do, you're basically committing to going down in the next zone. Yeah. It's just not going to work out.
Yeah, for sure. And Ida need to have a monster rondo here if they want to be able to get themselves into serious money. Enigma Galaxy, meanwhile, 2nd place. Down a player. Lord going to be using some of that terraforming to put himself into a safe position. This is still super early. I mean, that's just Rondo. The Rondo starts off so aggressive, starts to slow down here in the mid-game as teams solidify their locations. And then it's going to get red hot here in just a minute. Let's see where this circle goes. We're going to see a crazy southern hard shift again. Will it center up? That's going to be huge for these teams. And it does favor the south side a little bit.
Okay, I mean, for Aura, this is great news for them. Their west side is fairly free and clear. Ida do opt to regroup on the south side, which I'm not entirely sure about. I feel like that may be a misplay for them. A very difficult approach from that angle. S2G trying to make the approach that is probably in Ida's future. Finding out how difficult it can be. Furia extracting a toll for it. But they do crash in. They do get to the center of this one. And actually, may be able to get control of this recall tower that's available for about another minute or so. If they can get control of it, get that recall in fast, they could be in with a full 4 squad on this location. And I think they know that Jiggle's here, but they don't have a lot of time to play around with. It's really ticking away, and a bounce on the nade's not good.
Yeah, kind of a little bit of a self-nade there. I don't know if you saw that chain link fence at the top of it. Great nades, though, from Nongshim Red Force. Oh, it doesn't hit the mark, though. I thought that was good. And they're going to be sharing this location for now with eArena. This is pretty darn central. So I'm surprised they're really battling this out. This is a dangerous fight, honestly. Like, if they take this fight, they're going to get third party.
I mean, all the fights now in the middle are dangerous. Godlike on the south side.
What happened?
Ooh, I think a vehicle explosion there came on through.
Was
Took
that
Tony K down. No, it wasn't a self-drop, don't worry. I would have clocked that one. It was an explosion that came through. The nade, ooh, just falls short of the deployable cover. And they continue to not quite find the mark for Nick McGalaxy, sorry, for Nongshim Red Force. They aren't quite connecting here. Not quite getting what they want to get done. Orangutan try and crash into the middle against S2G. It's looking to go pretty well for Orangutan, actually, as S2G are going to go down fully. These recall towers are pretty much done and dusted. Only a couple more seconds to get them used.
Yeah, it's going to be tough to be able to use it here at this late stage, especially if you already burned a lot of your recalls earlier on. And let's see right now as Ray-Z is able to get a nice knock there on the tops with a nade. Another one would return as Bose catches Federales. And now here comes Win in the vehicle. Possibly just trying to get some information. He gets some for sure. Pops out. Oh, that did sting.
Okay.
Razak, though, got the shotgun. S12K. Oh, gets knocked. And Team Flash put in the work here on Vitality.
Hey, we know what Razy can do, but he's not going to do it this time around. Vitality go down. Flash playing on with 3. The recall towers are now shut down, which means that every elim will stick. There are no recalls available. The arena somehow managed to get straight to the center of this circle. Is kind of crazy, and to do so with 4 players alive, great news. Hopefully they can make that one work. Meanwhile, on the south side, you've got Godlike, Ita, and Furia all looking for position. Yeah, this is a replay, I think, on how Tony K went down.
Yeah,
he ran into the buggy. He ran into the buggy.
Yeah, well, it was that cover flare that ended up busting up that buggy, and it was just inching it little by little and just did enough damage to pop it. So you gotta watch out where you drop those cover flares.
Hey, no harm, no foul. They're all alive, and that's what matters right now. Nade over the top, over towards Nick McGalaxy, though, from Tianba, who have had to fight down from this north side of their compound. Nick McGalaxy have been hiding here for quite a while, and Tianba seemed to be an overwhelming force for them. Ralph, alone, isolated, away from the rest of the team. Ulf have been trying to push in from the east side, and somehow Scarface doesn't go down here. Finally does get knocked to QZZ. There is an answer, a little bit of damage, and his 4th drive's chiming in for a third party from the west side.
QZZ getting caught out by Ulf. And now Milo getting shot in his back from 4th drives. Tianba now are fully pinched. You got 4th drives looking at one side, Ulf looking on the other, and this is all outside of the circle. Disaster here for Tianba, who are looking so strong in this game. Gonna have to fight their way out of this position.
A lot of movement now necessary on the northeast side as well as on this south edge, and this is what I was worried about for Ida. They managed to get a couple of elims on the angle, but they trapped themselves behind the water. Wrapping around that one, it takes so much wind out of your sails. You just don't continue that speed. You don't carry any momentum in towards the circle. And they found out all about it. Furia were a roadblock for them, and they may have dragged Furia down with them, but for Emre, he's now got so much to do, and he's going to crash probably straight onto Aura, and almost certainly going to go down here. I'm so surprised he hasn't already fallen, and Emre just sneaking his way through.
Tianba on the drive-in now. Gonna have to force to just fully send it onto the middle, but they are getting beat up here. Sacrificing players one by one. Milu, oh, with the drive, and now it's up to the single player. Oh, he does end up catching 1 point. So Tianba, hold on just for a little while longer.
Staying alive, staying in things. The arena unlikely to be able to push fully up and over with Ulf suppressing this angle. Akin can survive for just a while longer. And Ulf are going to have a tough time actually pushing towards this one with the suppressive fire coming in, but Akin does go down. That actually comes from Furia. Very long shot down from the south side. Close to max range, I believe.
Furia.
Yeah, 393 meters there, Ayala.
Ooh, Ayala and Furia are putting in work here. 10 points on the board so far. Right behind him is OG with 8. They definitely needed those points. And here comes Furia, pressing in through the south side, moving in little by little, making sure that there ain't nobody near him.
Aurora with the western high ground as well, this mountain. giving them a lot to work with. The position held previously by Aura, but they decided to commit instead much more central onto the west point of the compound that sits central on this circle.
This would be a big game for
Aurora this position. I mean, it absolutely could be. Given their position with 8 elims, they've got some brilliant oversight. Not too many teams have the flexibility to challenge them. It is, of course, the Kiss Curse position, though, because you do have to leave it at some point. Well, almost certainly you're going to have to leave it at some point, and that is where things start to get a little bit muddy.
If this zone shifts to Aurora, they're getting like 20 points this game. Plus. I mean, this is the spot to have. But it is quite on the edge here. Let's see if they end up getting lucky. This is the time to get lucky in the map that you really want to get lucky on, that's for sure. But meanwhile, Nongshim Red Force catching Chief out from Furia.
Sneaking it. A shot in around the sides of those silos, through the fences. It is pretty resable, though, for Furia, I imagine. The circle does move away from Aurora, though, and up towards the north side. This is a lot of open ground that maybe Fourth Rise could try and leverage, but there's not a lot for them to try and work with. You could see just sweeping out to the west, it's wide open. You're going to need those cover flares, so it depends how many they've got in the back pocket. Create some of your own defilades with that destructible terrain. It's what they're going to be needing to do to control that north side. In the meantime, Furia still giving it large on the south side.
Doc starting to throw some nades in. They know they got to get moving here. They got those vehicles. They're smoking, though. Bose does go down. That's huge for the side of Aurora. And Doc trying to drive very carefully, little by little. Oh, saw that crate. I need that. I need that. I got 300 rounds. I need more. I need that util. And he's going to find at least another drink because he was out. Swaps vehicles, and now Aurora just trying to leapfrog into this next zone.
Last player of Orangutan goes down in the meantime. IQ gets spotted out in the open. I mean, this is what I was talking about, right? It's such a difficult area to try and move into. The question is timing, and for IQ, he gets caught a little bit too early. And there's really no cover. But it is such a majority on the circle. If you can establish any sort of position out there, you start to get so much control. And with Aurora still able to use the high ground that they've been playing from, they have great sightlines to control that. But Fourth Rise will be able to move in. Aurora are also going to have to move. Oh, beg your pardon. Have to move.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing, though. This is Rondo, and if you don't got cover, you got to make your own. Use those cover flares, use that terraforming, and make it happen. You can see Ulf with a good, solid position that they've created for themselves. You got Aura on the other end, trying to sneak some eliminations. No Fear going to be laying down, trying to see if he can catch that pixel. He sees him. He sees him. Put some shots, but not able to get the knock.
Aurora rotating back in towards the compound, looking to extract more point value from these elims. Tourniquet will be spotted. Zyol rattles him down. And the rest of the team answering with a volley of fire. Emre, by the way, from Ida, still alive. A solo who managed to sneak his way on through. I imagine Aurora should be aware of this position. But we'll see if they deal with it or if they allow him to sit there in their buffer zone.
Zyol just getting set up here. I like how he risks it and moved that vehicle just a little bit further so he can cover himself from that angle. The crowd is hyped. They're excited. The Furia fans are going nuts. They see their team with 11 eliminations so far. And there goes Aurora starting to throw some nades. They are in this next circle, so they're just holding the spot for now.
Just holding it down. Slowly marching forwards. Nongshim Red Force making it very difficult for them to move up and through this compound. If they can get a knock, if they can open a way, might be an opportunity for them. There's trades back and forth across every single angle. Nongshim also have spots on towards Horror, who are trying to make their way up on the western edge. Oh, it's a nasty ascent up this hill. There is a complete broadside from Hyunbin. He's got that DP, a lot of ammo in the tank, and a big north shift comes through.
The circle goes up to the top and away from all of these teams. So all of them are going to have to start moving. Hyunbin, he realizes it. He's like, oh, we're in trouble. We need to just start getting some eliminations here because getting into this next circle is going to be almost impossible.
I'm looking at this circle. I feel like it's Aurora and Fourth Rise right now. who are, in some ways, stopping each other from being the best in the circle and therefore allowing teams from the south to have an opportunity. If this fight concludes one way or the other, which I don't think it will, Jukes, not at the moment, it could be pretty tricky for everybody else to march forward, but it seems like they found some sort of peace between the two.
Yes, that's the right play in all honesty. You gotta just throw the smokes in between, but like, guys, let's look down south. Let's get all these eliminations, fight each other later for first and second place, because, oh, this is a feeding frenzy here on the south side, as all these teams are just desperate to try to find a spot into this next zone. Hyunbin up close and personal. He's got the shotgun. He can make the plays, and Nongshim Red Force are putting in the work up close and personal.
Take down E-Arena, the lobby leaders right now, only getting 2 elims there, no placements. A nice result for the teams looking to chase. Ulf, though, in a little bit of danger as they try and sweep up from the eastern side and crash into 4th rise, but with Cypher going down with 2 players left, actually only 1 player left in action.
Igor.
It's only IQ up on the north side, and Furia, in the meantime, are sweeping up. Over on the inside of the compound, Ayala on the corner, does go down to Nongshim as they move out to the east, but Furia now, 12 elims, they're looking for more, and a solo from Jiggle, the only thing standing in their way of controlling the entirety of this compound.
Make that 13 eliminations, Furia on a tear, Jiggle up on top, catches out the last player of Ida. Aurora, though, are just waiting for this. Gotta be a little bit careful with that cover flare, a little bit too close. Chief now forced to just run out the open. Jiggle with the jump down, trying to make the play in the 1v2. It's Igor to shut him down.
Hey, that's so nasty, though, because it does mean that Igor is going to be alone, solo, and will not be able to weather the storm of bullets sent his way by Nongshim Red Force. Now out in the open, it's Aurora as we transition up to the north side. And 4th Thrives, I mean, they lost so much on that push forwards, and it's just IQ now. Cypher, I don't think you're getting back over to him, mate. And he does go down. IQ, a solo for 4th Thrives. 14 eliminations for Nongshim Red Force, 10 for Aurora. This is a big game, any way you cut it.
And it's going to be one of these teams that's going to win it. Who's it going to be? It's Aurora versus Nongshim Red Force. Yol gets knocked. That could be the opening volley. But Nongshim Red Force just going to hold that angle. So easy, catches top as well. So just knock after knock, back and forth. That's going to really hurt the utility from both these teams. Reefus, level 2 vest, pretty beat up. Sees an angle, though. Hits the headshot onto Tizzy and gets the knock.
How do you do it to him, Reefus? Goodness me. That is a beautiful start, and this is the open ground I was talking about before, Jukes. It's just so difficult. There is that sloping ridge in front of Nongshim as well, that means they really kind of only have one angle to go, and it is fully covered off by Aurora.
Yeah, it's because Aurora is shooting some dang laser beams here at the end. The tiniest pixels, nothing but headshots. Nongshim Red Force, we know they got the gun skill to pay the bills, though. Gonna have to battle it out with Aurora, because Aurora are on fire right now. Now they have the numbers advantage as well, top with 5, and look at that. Nongshim Red Force, they're just stuck. They're stuck in this one spot. They are laying down, but Hyunbin evens out the battle with that huge knock on his Yol. Perfect timing.
And it's a forward position as well, which means that in order to get them back up, they need to break forwards. For Aurora, they need to expose themselves. That makes it more likely. We're in a 3v3 clean. Hyunbin suppressing the corner of the rock there, looking to try and put them back behind it. And he will bury them behind it as Doc is taken down on the angle. That is resible, but it's going to allow them to move forwards incrementally, making their way, making their approach here. Reefus don't dare step up.
Hyunbin is just an absolute beast with these laydown plays. Putting in the work, catches top. Hyunbin is on fire. Making it happen for his team. Applies that suppressive fire onto Reefus. Reefus cannot afford to get knocked here. If he does, he's gone.
He's got the MG3 from the crate, though. Is it going to be enough? A lot of damage done to him. Zyol's been slowly bleeding out. There has been reses coming through, or attempted to come through from Aurora. And they do manage to pick all 3 of their players back up on the forward front. Zyol finally flushed. Reefus dying left and right with the MG3 barking loudly across the open ground, but he's not going to be enough. It's going to be the knock sent his way, and Nongshim Red Force are giving this an excellent go. Moving forwards, they make it to the rock, and they are just out of range. The nade goes forwards. Only Top remains in the way, and the Molotov burns him. Tracks him down.
Nongshim Red Force turning the tables on Aurora. Aurora was looking unstoppable, and then Hyunbin said, oh, you think you got it, huh? Nah, we got this.
Clean execution at the end from Nongshim Red Force. A brilliant exit from that location. It got so messy around those silos. Those compounds really, really tricky, and it's got to be so disappointing for Aurora as well.
They don't lose those.
You shouldn't be losing those, no. It is really, really tough stuff. But the open ground was so difficult to get in and towards, with 4 Thrives being in the way for Aurora. If they'd have been able to deal with that a little bit earlier, maybe they could have had more presence there and stopped Nongshim Red Force from getting as far as they did. But a brilliant oversight on the compound for Nongshim Red Force. The South Korean side managed to navigate that one brilliantly.
I mean, that's as fair as a fight as it gets here, folks. I mean, I think out of all the fights I've ever seen Aurora lose, I think that is the most frustrating one for them, because they know that we just got outgunned skilled. Us? Aurora? The Mongolian super squad? What happened? Hyunbin with those laydowns, making the plays, the pop-off, absolutely well-deserved. I mean, that was just disgusting.
Locking it in with the daps. That's what you got to do. You got to be pumped when you get those chicken dinners on side, and on Rondo, no less, with a big elim count. That is a breath of fresh air for Nongshim Red Force, hoping to get another global level title as well, to convert from their recent win.
Sneaky. I mean, Nongshim Red Force, when they won PMMI, they weren't on top of the leaderboards until literally the last game, right? They stole that tournament, and now in this Rondo, with that many points, ooh, these leaderboards are gonna look dangerous.
Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. Remember, E-Arena, Enigma Galaxy, again, going down a little bit earlier. That's gonna close the gaps once more, and teams can start to catch up. It is looking level. And again, it's that marathon style that we've got on today with the 8 matches from the delays that we had yesterday. The 8 matches today are going to test these teams' endurance.
We still got so many games left.
Oh, I'm so excited.
This is just Toronto. We got 3 more Air Gales, 2 more Miramars. How's Aurora gonna roar back, though? That's gonna be my question. You know, Doc, he did not like that one. They did not like that. Yeah, they were like, there's no way we get bad beat here. Hyunbin, though, I mean, using that terraforming, you can just see for everybody out here that wants to be a professional player, these are the guys you got to look at here, because, you know, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Hyunbin, with those laydowns, applying those suppressive fires, predicting where they're going to pick those heads out, hit a few crucial knocks, and he won that for his team.
Absolutely, yeah, getting those picks, absolutely crucial, like you say. And it is a really interesting feature. I think it's probably, for me, the most interesting feature of Rondo is the impact of those, well, actually, maybe 2, but the impact of having destructible terrain, being able to carve out those little divots, those little defilades with explosives, as well as the deployable cover flares. I think those 2 features make Rondo so interesting in these late game stages.
Yeah.
And if it weren't for those 2 features, I don't think either team would have been able to make it towards the end there. There was so much open ground, but they had to close it down, and the team to do it was Nongshim Red Force. We'll see you in a few.
Play is in our DNA. Whenever we let it out, it becomes our superpower. Now imagine an entire city being built to supercharge it. Kadir City, powered by play.
Last year, 4 Thrives arrived at the PUBG Mobile World Cup with an entire country behind them. As the first Pakistani team to qualify for PMWC, reaching the world stage was already history. But once the matches began, they proved they had not traveled there just to participate.
He's got the flash. Got him as well. Nucky, no! How can you do it to him? They want that first place, but you're gonna have to prize it from his cold, dead hands. Squashed with a chance now, and he's able to close it down.
4 Thrives finished second in the group stage, going directly into the grand finals, and eventually securing 7th place in the world.
Last year, pmgc taught us to be more aggressive and more consistent to win this championship.
Their journey began at the PMGO Season 1 South Asia Finals, where they handled the pressure of playing at home and claimed the regional championship.
Now sending shots around the corner, so much damage done, and it's ended. 4 Thrives get themselves a chicken dinner and secure an unbelievably good position.
That victory sent them to Jakarta for the PMGO Season 1 main event, where they would face teams from across the world. And on the opening day of the grand finals, 4 Thrives took complete control.
Possible, but IQ's down, and D24 with a 1 versus 1. Weapon swap with the shotgun around his teammate. He finds it! He gets it done, and 4 Thrives!
After 6 matches, they had collected 3 wins and 82 points, building a commanding lead at the top of the leaderboard.
After the 3 chickens on PMGO finals day 1, our confidence boosted a lot. Like, we didn't felt any pressure and we knew we are going to win because we had a big lead.
The second day brought a different challenge. Every team in the lobby was chasing them, and every mistake could reopen the championship race. They finished with 122 points, 77 eliminations, and 3 wins to become the PMGO Season 1 champions, securing their return to PMWC. Last year, they arrived as history makers. This year, they arrive as global champions.
Nothing has changed for us. Our hunger is still the same. Even you can say we are more hungry for this PMWC trophy. We are even more confident than before. We have more experience. We believe that we can be the team who can win this back-to-back global trophy.
4 Thrives have already shown that a Pakistani team can reach the world stage. Now, 4 Thrives head to the PMWC at EWC 26. Ready to prove that PMGO was not the end of their rise. It was only the beginning.
Hey, get us up on the left now! Let's go. I'm nading it, okay? I'm nading it. Nade it on the Dacia, bro. He's low. I don't have nades. On Dacia is low. I can drop a C4, wait. He's low, headshot. Nice. Last one on me. Yes. No, two. Nice. Let's go. Get the loot. Go left, guys. Please, go left. One guy right, one guy left. Easy. They're 2 knocked. Zone will kick them. My third watch. Let's go left. I'm running up. Behind the tree. Okay, I'm running up on him. Play time. Time. Behind the car. Kitleyim ben. Risk atmayacağım. Taşla atıyor galiba. Mermi çektim. Tarıyorum Cema, full tarıyorum. Mermim yok ama. Mermim kalmadı. Lan gidin vurun, alana salacak. Nice oğlum. Nice.
เฮ้ยขวาตัวนึงตายดำไปนอนอยู่
นอนสวยต่อซ้ายเล่นด้วยกันนะใจเย็น
มองนี่คือ
เจ็บมาดิกันวิ่งมาเลยหลังต้นไม้เจอมาลูกกู
สายกลาง
กดซ้ายกดขวาโอ้ยเฮียไม่วะ
This rondo would be the match to just kickstart a bunch of the teams that weren't performing well in this first 2 Miramars, and one of them being Aurora, showing Kalaris one of the biggest throws that we have seen. They look so good until the end.
Everything was lining up so well. They threaded the needle down on the south to be able to get between Godlike and Furier on that rotation. And I thought to myself, they're playing it fantastic. They're being able to hold a position, cautious of where Horror was, and then maybe flex out on that west side. But Max, the fight against Nongshim, who played an amazing game as well on the other side.
Like, you can't hate too much on it because, yeah, Nongshim Red Force had some insane shots. Hyunbin in particular, the way he was able to every time to allow his teammates to push forward and he would cover them, but it wouldn't just be cover fire. He would literally tear down every single player on Aurora Gaming. I think he knocked out top twice in that final fight.
I'm not happy about it.
I'm very happy about it. If Kalaris is angry, I'm having a good day. So, yeah, but like as you said, it was great rotations overall from Aurora, but the gunplay from Nongshim Red Force is is what redeemed the game for South Korea.
And this is completely opposite from what we saw from Nongshim yesterday, right? Because we were talking about Hyunbin just being super aggro and going without his team and all of this, and he's done the complete opposite of that today here, going, I'll support you guys. I'll be that support player. I'll be the fragger, but I will let you guys go first.
I mean, it wasn't just this final fight for Nongshim Red Force that looked amazing. It was the parking bay control, dealing with anybody coming from silos, fighting into the circles as well. This for Nongshim Red Force was a masterclass of control.
The fight with E-Arena especially.
Yeah, the thing is, that fight on E-Arena was executed so well. It was so snappy, so quick. But the fact that they survive that fight in the city, right? Get outside the city, fight against the other teams that were 4 thrives, then win the fight onto Aurora, all of that. Basically, while still keeping yourself up as a 4-man team is insanely impressive at this level of play.
I think there's very few teams that can make it look that good.
No, because, and this is the thing, is this is one of the teams that can go from 0 to 100, right? They were in that compound, they were there for a long time, they were just kind of keeping away from E-Arena here, and then they just unleashed the beast. I mean, look at these eliminations coming in from each of the players, so even across the board, and they just are able to just turn up the heat, go, okay, it's go time, and go for it.
Yeah, we usually talk about Hyunbin just being able to be the frag out power for this squad. TZ as well has been stepping up. It's good to see that all the players have been stepping up in this one. One of the biggest question marks that we have had for Nongshim, especially in this last 2 days, have been those placement points. And for them to finally get over that hump, getting that chicken dinner, considering that the Smash rule is going to be in play tomorrow, this is going to make them really happy. I know you're really happy about it.
I'm loving it, seeing Hyunbin and the boys getting so many points on board. But before this game, right, the placement points were at an all-time low. We just didn't see very many late game finishes from this team. But the fact is, and as we just saw on that graphic, right, they got eliminations on every single player. Very happy, but apparently Eren is your MVP of the game, and he had some really good fights, one of those onto 4 thrives. So good plays here from Eren that I didn't expect. I thought it would be definitely one player from Nongshim Red Force.
Well, Tizzy, the fact that he did 1,200 some damage from the parking bay. I mean, it's one of the highest spots in that circle, never mind the silos that exist there. So it's a great spot to be able to have those engagements from.
No, it was very good indeed. And mentioning Ulfred, because they were in an altercation with 4 thrives, and looking at the circle, I was like, okay, well, Nongshim has everybody in town to deal with. You've got 4 thrives having to deal with Ulf, and so Aurora were able to actually just have the complete west side kind of to themselves, get that long-range third party going, which is that's their MO, and that's probably why we saw them do so well. While they probably should have had that win, was they were long distance, they were able to have that long distance, put some distance between them and other teams. But for Nongshim, for them to actually third party over onto Ulf in the 4 thrives fight, just as 4 thrives were kind of getting cleared up. That is true. They do. They do.
Ida has something personal with
they do. It's so true. It's so true. But Nongshim really showcasing how great their timing is and how well they can actually read the lobby, what's going on around them, and take advantage of that.
One team that we've been following as well, especially today, that has been starting to kickstart it, is 4 thrives. 4 thrives. In this last match, they were controlling a lot of that north, but they were 2 split, even though they weren't man down. And this is something that we were harping on a lot yesterday from them, having unnecessary splits at times. They were being pinned down by Aurora, though.
They were being pinned down. It's a very difficult portion of zone. I don't think we've seen it be played that much, and so when it's so open like that, it is difficult to try and have the control that you really want. But yeah, there were some changes that could have been made to that.
I think you hit the nail on the head. I think that when you look at how Nongshim Red Force had to play it, in a very similar area, you see how flat that area is. You can't, there's a lot of times where people get stuck in urban endings and urban situations, and then you're thinking to yourself, okay, that team on the outside is going to be able to hold them off. But you saw how flat it was. They couldn't put pressure onto anyone coming from their 4 thrives. They were there in a good spot, but they were there too early.
Yeah, actually looking at another team I feel like did really well this game is actually Furia, right? Able to jump up here in 4th position, get himself a total of 60 points, 2 points behind the podium, held down by Nigma Galaxy. But this game, how they were able to do actually a big jump around the teams in the southern side against Godlike and also the side of Ida, and then getting in the city and sweeping teams. Sure, they don't get the win, but highly impressive from Furia. They feel like now are building up their momentum. They're a very streaky team, and now I feel like the podium is where they want to head towards next.
That's back-to-back games too for Furia, being able to just show that aggressiveness, getting those eliminations as well, maintaining themselves within the 4th place. Because one thing that we're kind of looking at is E-Arena starting to create a gap with some of those teams. That's something that 2nd place, especially of esports, they had 2 outstanding mirror marks, and in this one we saw Eden being able to get the MVP.
I just want to bounce off what you said about Furia with the 2 good games, because I didn't like them moving into that silo location. I thought they could potentially backfill the west side after coming in super late on that that south. But hey, they proved me wrong. I think that they really showed great presence of mind, great kind of space control when they were moving through, and were able to take the gunfights well.
Yeah, it was very nice indeed. I was watching them kind of how they were moving, because some teams like Aurora, right, you have your position and you kind of just stay there. There's not too much movement going on. For Furia, they were in the middle of the silos, and yet they were always looking, always moving, always trying to figure out where the next play was going to be. So very mobile, very proactive thinking. You could tell from how these guys were moving. Yeah, just very proactive, and that's what you want to see in the middle of a city fight like that.
Yeah, we didn't see the second page there for a quick second, and I want to highlight one player from Godlike. Man, S-Power is putting up like so many great clutches. We had some clutches early on Miramar. He did it here on the hot drop right versus top. He was cooking the grenade, got the damage, forced to find CQC. I really do believe, and my favorite player from India, by the way, normally is legit. But I got to say, S-Power is putting some global level fights here. He is looking highly impressive. And right now, I would say the best player in India by a significant margin.
Yeah, it's not even close, honestly, especially with S-Power. Now, all we need is to see what the Nongshim players were able to do, which just wasn't just one player. We need all the players from Godlike being able to step it up. But as we're going to be heading into the first Erangel, let's send it over to Barney and Luti.
Luti, what an absolute treat today is. I mean, 8 games, that's so many clips can happen today. I know, 5 more maps to go, yeah, so much more PMWC action to come. But I tell you what, we wouldn't be anywhere if it wasn't for the fans, right?
Of course, they're coming from all over the world.
That's right, and we've got some right here in the Gadia City grid as well, so why don't we check in with them?
Okay.
Okay, you want to check in?
Yeah, my side is better.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure my side is better.
Calm down, okay. All my fans on this side of the building, make some noise!
Nah. I think we are better. Please, from my side, make some noise!
Okay, now you know what you gotta beat, guys. Now you know what you gotta beat. Okay, I see some Furia fans. Everybody, Fasambaruyo!
I see. I have 40 fans right there, and I can see in their own language as well. It is time. Sean Macho! Look at them going. They are crazy.
Okay, you know what, Luti?
Yeah.
I'll give you that one.
Yeah,
you can beat me 1-0, but we'll check in a little bit later today. Casters, who do you think won that?
I think the fans all won that. You know, I'm going to be completely equivocal, yeah, that's everybody won because we got to experience the energy that is going to be put towards this match, the first of our Erangels today, a triple billing. As we sidle over towards match 8 with Nongshim Red Force able to close down a clutch chicken dinner in the final moments of that last game. Now they turn their attention to the grassy pastures, and maybe we'll get an answer to our question about a couple of our other teams, Dukes, because of course the thoughts on everyone's minds when it comes to these Erangel situations is what is going to happen in Pachinki?
Yep.
Is Enigma Galaxy going to be left alone, or is Ida going to continue down their futile path?
Well, that's the question, because the only other question is Enigma Galaxy going anywhere else? And the answer is no, I'll tell you that. So we're gonna see what's gonna happen on the side of Pachinki. But who's gonna get these points, man? We're heading on over to good old-fashioned Erangel. We got 3 of these matches today, and this is the first one here in day number 2 of the finals, live here in Paris, France. This is the PUBG Mobile World Cup.
It's so American of you to say Paris, France, as if anybody was laboring under the delusion it was Paris, Texas. Come on. That ain't happening. That ain't happening. We're here.
It's about the same heat, though, I'll tell you that right now, because it was hot outside today.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been pretty hot in these games as well, as we are channeling the sun. Even when it's hiding behind the moon, cheeky little sun, you know, got to get him back. We did indeed, but we are going across Erangel once more. The plane path splitting the middle in the most horizontal flight I think I've ever seen.
Right, that's as dead center as it gets right there, literally, right down the middle. And you can start seeing these teams start to spread out. Top players, Aaron right now leading the charge when it comes to damage. But man, those leaderboards changing things up. The Arena still up on top there. Enigma Galaxy down in 3rd, both right behind them. But Aurora and Nongshim Red Force push themselves up. Now you can see Nongshim in 5th place with 59 points. That's a much more comfortable position. But We are starting to see some point gaps already starting to be present. This is the most important day here, folks, because that's what's going to set that smash point threshold. And E-Arena have a nice little gap here, so they're a little bit comfortable, but it ain't over yet. They got to keep that aggression up all day long.
Now, you know what? I talked about it before, right? E-Arena, chicken dinner towards the start of the day, and then what happens, right? It's that question of then what happens. Oh, by the way, Ida, not in Pachinki. Enigma Galaxy will be left alone. It is a Gatka split drop for Ida.
Oh, about time.
Thank you so much to all the coaches, to all the analysts, to the players. I love it.
Shout out to everybody, dude.
Yeah.
Shout out to everybody.
Shout out to you.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? Shout out to Naruto.
Oh, yeah.
Get that that Ninetales Furies Og, baby. You gotta get it here quick before it's gone. As the Naruto Uzumaki event is still going on. We had a nice little show match earlier. Got to see some of the A7 boys once again. And man, putting in some work. Dropping them jutsus. Them ninjutsus. Substitution jutsus.
That's what I've been told. That's what I've been told they're called.
Uh-huh.
Absolutely. Beautiful stuff. I mean, we saw that show match earlier today, which was great fun. I think everyone had a good time with it.
It's fun. Calaris,
and you know, Alpha 7 have to win something.
Yeah, they got to win something, that's for sure. You know, anytime I get to hear Calaris cast the show match is incredibly loves to do those, so I'm so glad he was able to get one in.
He looked pretty good with the headband as well.
Yeah, he did. He rocked the red one too. I was like, man, this guy is styling today. Should have kept it on all day, in my opinion.
I think he has.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
I saw him backstage.
Has.
He was running with his arms behind his back.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. He does that everywhere now.
Wow. I like it. It's a good look. He should hold on to it. Speaking of good looks, right? Ulf looking pretty good today. I mean, they're in second place. They've been getting a ton of eliminations here. It's gonna be interesting to see how this whole thing fares out. I'm interested to see kind of how teams develop their mindset here going into today specifically, because I think a lot of squads just need to pretend like, hey, this match, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just got our Rondo out the way. Now into Erangel.
Yeah, Aaron doing a lot of work for the team on Ulf right now. The E-limps he's been able to find, picking them away from a lot of different scenarios. He's been able to extract just these sneaky little flush steals once or twice, as well as the rest of Ulf doing a lot more. Had a really solid position during that rondo. There were some difficult south shifts that forced them off that high ground mountain quite a while into the zones, which kind of took a little bit of momentum away from them, but the fact that they're able to convert and get a decent line on that game was pretty great, pretty great. And getting that match MVP title as well for Aaron. So yeah, it's second place. Good news for them. One step closer to the arena. It's very tight grouping over towards the top side of these tables still. I mean, there is a bit of a drop-off, I think, you know, from ninth all the way up to second. It's fairly flexible still, given the number of matches we've still got left to play, but it's going to get a lot more solid, and teams beneath that, I feel like you're stretching a little bit far now to try and catch up.
Yeah, I mean, there's still plenty of time, right? I mean, we got to look at the math of it. I mean, there's a lot of games still left to be played. I get where you're going with this, though, right? With how these top teams are performing, it's getting real scary, right? So if you want to be able to make a run for that first place, you got to start performing here, right now. Especially for that 9th place on down. It really is starting to get chicken dinner time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we've seen teams go, you know, back-to-back, triple chicken dinner. So for all you guys that are fans there of, you know, 4 Thrives, Vitality, Fly, S2G, all the squads down there, you know, give your team your energy, right? Start spamming the chat. They need that positive reinforcement here, because they are not even close to out of the running there. We got a lot of matches left to go, a couple good wins, and boom, they're at the top.
I'm looking right now at what Enigma Galaxy are doing this split. We saw it from them in the previous stages they played in the group stage. They leave 2 players in Pachinki. They send 2 players out really wide. We denied the opportunity to see this happen over the course of these grand finals because of the hot drop with Ida. But now they are unleashed. They've been able to not only get the early loot and try and get a little bit of a duplicate on that as well, but they have been able to send out that early duo scout that they seem to find to be successful. They sent out towards Milter Power before on a game that they were able to win in the end, and they now have a foothold over towards the west side in the fields that stretch out to the north of Quarry. And they'll have to figure out how to regroup at some point. But for now, there's still a permeable line across the middle of this zone as the arena tries to make it a little bit more waterproof. Don't let the Eagle fly.
Yeah, the Eagle is grounded here. He's going to go to the lobby. That's the first elimination. Joker catching it. And that is devastation for this lobby because the arena are red hot today. Just straight aggression, putting on some points on the board. That 2-2 split you called out there for Enigma Galaxy is great to see how well it works out for them though. As they're putting that 2-2, yeah, because if the zone goes on over to the east side, they get position like that, and it goes on over to the west, they got a spot. So just depending on where the zone goes, but at the same time, it's difficult to get there. That's going to be the big question. Aurora, still a military base. They're going to be starting to push themselves up through the bridge side. Nobody gatekeeping it, so they should have a clean path on in. But we're still in a very, very early game here. Only one player in this lobby has been eliminated.
Yeah, only the one pickup found. So that. Move on to Tianma as well, which is not going to be friendly. They had a real blow up in the survival stage, I think it's safe to say, but here it's not quite been as consistent, and that's probably likely to the fact you're adding the top 10 teams back in. Right? You're coming back into the lobby with the teams that are directly qualified. Tiamba, it's great that they've gained that confidence. This is not the Tiamba we saw in the group stage, but there is a little bit more force to come against, and that's I think what they're trying to come to terms with.
This lobby is wild. It really is. I love to see just the progression here of PUBG Mobile. Back in the day, we had like a handful of good teams and everybody else was kind of pretty far down when it came to skill. But the skill gap has been closed, and teams are going to have to get moving real quick here. That 2-2 split working out for Enigma Galaxy, considering that they already have a couple players in this area. Vitality's right behind them, though. Coops cutting away from this one. He's on the drive. Trying to sneak away here. Serpentine, he's down low. Can he get away? No.
So close. Remember, the 2-2 split there means that he's just not got the cover of another team, of the rest of the teammates to actually take that fight. So for Enigma Galaxy, this is the worst case scenario. They've left a turn alone out on the western side. Ralph and Lord unlikely to be able to push on through. Ooh, Wolf losing Aaron though, as they rotate out to the west as well, is a pretty big pickup for the lobby to be able to find that one. And in the center of this, it starts to get crunched in. Arena, I feel like they've got a pretty solid spot on this. Vitality trying to line the edge of that swamp. Defend it like an ogre.
Run, Satan, run. He's all by himself, just trying to find a position for the rest of his team. But the rest of his team is going to have a tough time rotating on over to him.
Yeah, that's. I was just having a little chuckle to myself about how it looks like Satan's trying to go over north and the other two over Enigma Galaxy. It looks like they're trying to go around the south.
Yeah,
the Benny Hill music was playing in my head. They were chasing each other's tails, and neither one able to catch it. But it's going to be a set straight through the middle. I mean, for Enigma Galaxy, it's a repair play. A lovely little thread on the knee left for IQ. Over towards Federals, and they share the swamp across the way.
Nice little punch up. Oh, they want this. Okay, 14's on the push. Here comes for Thrive now. Battling it out. Zypha up close personal. Axel driving away, using that hovercraft to find it off angle. That's going to make things interesting. Vitality going to have to make some plays, though. Irina cashing out Raul. So 2-2 split not working at all. Bounce Shade is going to be good for Zypha. And 14 turning things around. There's another one.
Hell yeah.
You had to know it was coming, Axel, and you pay the price.
24 does get flushed in the meantime. S2G advancing is from the south side. Hodgkin Razor is in the hovercraft, but starts to go up in flame, and down he goes for price. Ruthless aggression roll up, coming on in, hit with a suplex to take them down out of the ring. They are no longer in this Royal Rumble.
Ooh, welcome to Suplex City, baby. That's how you do it. 4 Thrives, getting hot. 4 eliminations, taking out Team Vitality. The great shot down there. And now you can see on the side of Everest, Team Flash, they're going to be holding that high ground. Next circle, lots of pop. Are we going to see another crazy hard shift? We'll find out. Lord getting eliminated here. And south we go. Yoink!
All right. I mean, to be fair, this is actually kind of chill, given the layout of all of our teams.
Sure,
right? A lot of them decided to go down south. The major feature that caused this is those fields, right? They sit to the south of hospital. Nobody wants to sit in them. It is really nasty to be in that sort of area, as well as Everest being a roadblocker on the northeast side of it. It creates this lineup. The teams funneled into the south side circle like this actually benefits the majority of the lobby.
Yes, it does. I mean, they were already all set up in this position. So over here, super beneficial. This is a huge spot here. And it's a battle of contention. Aurora starting to push Nongshim Red Force. It's the rematch. And Nongshim Red Force win once again.
No doubt in my mind that's how it would have gone in that last match. They make it happen. Repeating history. And does that mean that Aurora are living up to the definition of insanity? I don't know, but they're going to have to change something if they want to win the fights against Nongshim and join the backup on the podium, because they are putting some pace down now on the South Korean side, opening distance and take control of an area on the south edge of this circle. Put pressure onto S2G, stopping Godlike potentially moving in, as well as Flash off in the distance.
I've had the pleasure of being able to spend some good quality time with the players from Aurora, especially after their performance at PMGC. I'll tell you one thing. I know these guys, they are fuming right now.
Well, you know, it's not infrequent that Doc wins the MVP award.
Yeah,
despite not winning this tournament.
Yeah.
And he's not necessarily on track to do that here, but yeah, it's evident that they definitely are going for the top spot. But right now, being 9.
Yeah, take a look though as we move on over to some of these other fights. Now 14 teams remaining. We got Aurora Vitality out. A couple players from some other squads out as well. Wolf did lose a player early on. E-Arena, 2 eliminations. They are big squad in this lobby. Got a nice position in its own as well. It's going to be really interesting to see how this game is going to fare. Also, can't wait to hear what the devs has to say, especially about like that the Galaxy split. I hope we hear it from them because it's such an interesting play.
Well, I mean, a circle shift out to the west side that went so quickly kind of devastated them. If it had been so hard, it basically, I think almost any other circle, it wouldn't have been anywhere near as devastating for them. It was just so difficult because everybody started flooding west almost immediately. Oh, speaking of difficult circle shifts, that's pretty nasty. But yeah, the regroup was then completely blocked off. The gap started to close, and the backstop for the Galaxy wasn't pacey enough to catch up this time. Yeah, disappointing, unfortunate. Maybe they need a hot drop to be able to fall out of his head. Maybe Ida should go back to Jinky, and that's what they put into. But you know, Ida pretty happy with themselves they did right now because they have that Gakko position. They are one of the only teams in the northeast side in these open fields.
And they get blessed here in this circle, and that just goes to show sometimes a hot drop is good to avoid the time all by himself. Oh, he's so in trouble. It's on fire. That Murado is going to have to pop out, lay down, and Nongshim Red Force right there. This is like really the worst location to be stuck into. Not good. Well, yeah, just a bad game for Nimic Galaxy overall. Still a couple more, though, in the books.
It's not terrible for him in this position, right? You have this little defilade, you're kind of covered off from the building down the open. The nade, though, from Nongshim Red Force does make it all the more terrible. The speed with which it rolled up does make it harder. He's still got a little bit of fire in the belly.
Less terrible now. Satan on the move. Get a nice knock there, and now it's bad.
Okay, yeah, well, he's not there anymore. My point was, there is a little bit of cover, and teams on Ridgeline can't necessarily go for the top. The reason they were able to do so is because there isn't so many teams out in the open field. Right? And if it happened a little bit later, me, that would have changed. So I think I read a little bit too much into that. It's cover, but either way, he does go down.
Sick shot, though.
One of the very few players to be able to knock Hyunbin on that trade, though.
Yep, that was really nice.
Just saying.
Just saying, indeed. Not an easy feat.
Hora.
Wow, what happened to Hora?
They tried to roll in from the west side, and it didn't work. I think that's a pretty apt summation of what's about to happen.
Hate to see it.
Yeah, you do. Rising have a real opportunity, though, to find an isolated outpost. But the south side gets hot as well.
Man, that's getting hot indeed. You can see, oh, so easy on fire. Down to 1 HP, he's going to get knocked. Aula looking to pay out Nongshim Red Force.
SG.
And now here comes SG. This Wizard Tower is by far one of the most dominant positions in this zone. And that's what so many teams, they want it and they want it bad. S2G on the push. They know that Wizard Tower is weak from the hillside. Starting to throw some utility. Trying to see if they can get a good opening knock here.
Seems like they're slowing it down, though. Over on the northwest side, you've got Arena at loggerheads. Scrapping out across the way as well with Furia. 2 players, 3 players now down. 30K's on the inside, terminating with P90. Puts the reload there. Gets the arrow back into control, and the res can come through as well for the backlines. Furia are going to get dismantled, and they get taken down.
Oh, it's rough, especially considering they lost out to E-Arena. They feed E-Arena 4 more points. The White Rabbit really on the run here. Hopping to victory. Next zone, where's it going? If it centers up, it's going to be disgusting as that field is wide open. Okay, it goes to the north side.
Is it like a rule that the circle has to touch the edge of the previous one in this game?
Just hug it.
It's just like, I just pick a point around the circle and attach myself to that. See what we're going to go for. Another hot shift is crazy, but it's a crazy fight. Holding for God's sake, they find one, try and trade it around the corner with the clash, and Pops goes down. Put into the meat grinder there.
Well, let's go Edmino getting a nice knock and finish. 4 points on the side of Godlike. Haven't had the hottest of starts here. Still putting up some points on the board, though. OG, other Indian team, putting in some nice knocks. And Godlike OG are right next to each other on the leaderboards. Again, still a lot of matches left to be played. This could be a start for them to take charge. A few good games is all it takes.
There's a few matches are getting played. I will try and roll up, try and take this fight with 2G. It's not going too well for them as they haven't been able to find that knock onto Hamzy. Down the hill, he was able to survive on a sliver HP. Gets the eating button nice and fast. As you can transition now. Now Alula breathing down the nest. They've only got 1 play. And Yasser is already sending out into the open. 4 drives, getting roadblocks on the northern road. All in the arena sit in front of them. Alula losing their final backstop. And Godlike now trying to roll up into the engagement. As he to take shots from a distance.
Yeah, and that's it for Alula. Now you got S2G that we're holding this Wizard Tower here, but did now outside the circle. They're going to have to get moving. Come on, got Tianba trying to get res up here. Out in the open. They got a couple busted up vehicles here for cover, utilizing those smokes as well. But the pressure is imminent. Now comes Scarface. Scarface with a nice nade onto Joker. That's going to finally pepper E-Arena's position. But now E-Arena are in this next zone. Godlike trying to possibly gatekeep this. I almost ran right into that nade. That was dangerous.
Solo remaining for Nongshim. A spiteful look in his eye, a glint, a gleam. The man is spotted by Solkate. Sees that one gleaming the grass and puts it down, snake out of action.
That's huge. Now, I don't worry about that anymore. But now you got to worry about Godlike, as they got one of those players up close to personal. I'm going to switch on fights over to this fight, though. It's E-Arena, top team in the lobby, still alive. Now we're back.
Hey, they're more than alive. They're kind of thriving on this northwest side in that fight. Goodness me. Godlike losing their backs up there as Mino goes down. Now playing on his 2 chunks being torn out of everyone's 30K continues to turn out the heat with that P90. Finds a load of elims from Ulf.
30K now taken out. That is huge. That's going to be from Aching. Tianba now getting in the mix. They know it's E-Arena. So if you're Tianba, this needs to be your hard focus here. You want to be able to slow them down.
I mean, you want to, sure. You absolutely do. But question is, can you? With 10 out, you're right, without that... Oh, wait, hang on a minute. I think Joker was able to recover the P9 siege there. I believe he was able to pick everything up there from the body. But it's a hard shot again.
What is going on?
It has to touch the previous circle. I'm telling you, it's something about this game. What tries, they're going to have to leave, but they may have to leave one of their players behind. FBAlpha has taken a knee. Scarface down low, last player alive. Oh, for knee over the top from IQ. Bounce, rolls under, right behind the wheel, is right in his face. Scarface, you can't chew that.
Oh, man, he ate that one. And 4 drives on the move. IQ going on over to FBAlpha. Gets the res right on time. Save.
Able to keep things alive. I have no idea what that was. Able to keep him alive, but as Ivan not so lucky. This flag will get back to his feet. But they have a long road to tread now. S2G covering off the south road. And I feel like Irina sweeping out may not be the worst idea. Maybe try and push through 4 tries. Continue on. Challenge S2G's backstop, maybe. Oh, it's a difficult approach. No matter which way you cut it, but for Irina, they're already on 16 in this Duke. They're already into the top 6. They're having a good game, and everybody from 2nd down to 6th has already gone down.
Oh, Schweppes spins out and gets punished. FBAlpha barely moving out the way, gets a couple, but now there's Mormon up. IQ, gotta make a play here. You need to stop the Arena. They have been too dominant so far. They are putting in work to take down FBAlpha. Now Mormon gonna have to run away. This nade looks good from IQ though. Oh, I guess a secure 4 tries. Finally shut down Arena.
Okay, so they are drawn a little bit shorter than they could have gone. Really nice hold there from FBAlpha, I think, on that roll up from Irina, who was able to do so much damage. Unfortunately, not able to survive, but IQ was, and he was able to put a 10th elimination on the cards there. 4 thrives. They have been blasting on the western side in the thick of it. Fight, seemingly, where the flower of their success bloomed. IQ now rolls over the top. They're not making a spin out wide. Nearly sends to the sky, but will take the tumble. Finally going down. Reaches them up to 60 points.
Oh, and now I'll take that buggy. Thank you very much. As he's going to go ahead, head into the next zone. Oh, getting shot up. Oh, that hurts. And S2G said, no, sir, not today.
I'll get in here. Access denied. Hey, you know what's brilliant? What's that? He didn't hot drop, and now they're in the final circle.
Oh!
Isn't that great?
It's almost like it was a good idea.
Who could have thought that not dying immediately would be a good idea? Orangutan trying to break out from their compound on the north side, but again, so awkward. 2 teams broadside on you. I don't think you last that much longer here. On that north edge. I feel like we're just waiting for him to go down here.
Oh, yeah.
And he falls.
Goodbye, and S2G finally starting to make some noise here in Erangel, but it's S2G versus Ida.
2 teams from Turkey. On the open, though, S2G definitely have control of this circle.
Oh, yeah.
At the moment, Ida are completely penned in within their compound, and with the circle, they have to leave. There is no 2 ways about it. They have to get out of there. The question is how you do it. The start needs to be a big pick.
The zone didn't touch the edge.
Oh my goodness. Crazy.
What a change up here. Kamikaze able to find a P90 and full level 3 gear. Oh man, that is just so good on the side of S2G. Be careful though, he's gonna be high behind this tree. Cannot afford to get knocked, but they have full control of the circle. Ida have to move out. If you're Ida right now, you really need to kind of start peeking and trying to find a pick. If you can get a good knock here.
I think. No, they're just mounting up. I mean, look at the times on those smokes. They're just going to go for the vehicle rollout and try and crash it. They're going to try and read the zone. The laying out back, laying out wide for S2G. They left a trap for Lost to be able to find, pick up a reach to maybe able to put something in the back of their zone. One box feeder is not great for S2G, but finally get a second. There is finally an answer, and Emmerich charges him. The out count is very, very low there, and they've already lost 2.
Trying to get this confirmation. He should be able to get at least 1. Yeah, I don't think that point. All right, well, that's a consolation prize. But S2G looking to make this happen unless Darkin gets a good shot. He's only got 21 rounds left.
In a meaningful team.
And Kamikaze's full level 3'd out. That's going to be a hard knock.
And there's plenty of ammo left in the back pocket there.
Oh,
Kamikaze. Oh! What a lineup. Steps out a little bit too wide there. And Emre able to shut it down. He's getting crunched in by the zone. Forced in, but S2G seemed like they had complete broadside here, but now it's 2 versus 2. Emre steps back into the blue. Waits Sulky out for the peak, but doesn't quite confirm. He's still down on his belly though. Stands up, arms for the fight. Does take a lick back, but Sulky puts him down. 1 versus 2. As Darkin spreads out wide, tries to sweep over towards the off angle.
Hit the gas. Darkin coming up close to personal. And has to do with the DBS. And nah, not today. This is our game to win. That's a big S2G chicken dinner.
S2G going God mode at the end there. Chokehold on the zone, able to take it all down. Nobody standing in their way. Really nicely felt there on that south edge. Feed a little bit too passive in their zone, in their compound, but they survived to the match, Dukes, and that is a good result. I feel like they were able to do, well, I know that they were able to do a lot more than they've done in any other Erangel over the course of this tournament.
Yeah, or any other game in this tournament. Yeah, this is huge for the side of Ida. Honestly, a great finish. They were stuck in those buildings. That's a hard one to win. I just personally would rather see them just from those buildings really try to pursue and knock before it's randomly sending it in. I think that would have been the play. But hey, you know what? To each their own. Sometimes you got to go for it. Could have gone either way.
Yeah.
But S2G, I mean, they're so good at just popping people out of vehicles that it just made it hard. But we did see that solo player from Ida really put in work towards the end. Almost turning things around for them.
I mean, Emre was doing a lot over in the open field there. I feel like what happened there was that they got information on the back lines on towards where loss was, and they were able to flow out that way. And that's what they went for in those final moments. Maybe a little bit over-invested on the angle though.
Let's see Inez here with FBAlpha Is on that match.
That sounded really chill. That sounded really chill, relaxed. They felt in control, and I could smell it.
Oh yeah, they knew that that was their win. Yeah, let's get high, folks. This is what it's all about. The best of the best on the planet battling it out for some major money. What a game. S2G finally get their win here. And we still got a whole bunch more games coming up.
WC 26, I'm the SamanWG, and I'm joined by none other than the record-breaking man. Next game is next. How are you enjoying Paris so far?
I'm in amazing bonjour and representing India here doing the watch party. I'm the first Indian ever to host a watch party officially from the STA tournament, World Stage, World Cup. First Indian ever to do the watch party, and I'm super proud as these 8 boys, the game they showed in the group stage, the way they qualified, the standard they have set, because we don't get to play regularly these lobbies, and the way they adapted these lobbies and the way they qualified made us proud, and that's why I'm here.
That's the biggest one. The way that they have adapted to the lobby, I feel like it's one of their biggest strengths too. We saw that with OG, we saw it with Godlike as well. Talking about Godlike, no more hot drops out of that team. They started performing a lot better here in his last matches.
In the group stage, as I said, they did try to experiment the drop fights. I mean, they had a lot of drop fights, but initially with the first day of the group stage, they didn't feel good after taking the drop fights. They switched the playstyle and now they're playing safe for the initial part of the drop. Then after that, if they survive 4 man, I've seen the players' potential. The way S-Power clutched, I mean, I feel like it's going to be the clutch of the tournament. The way he played, the gunpowder these boys have is insane. I just want them to stick together, play 4 man together, because in this lobby, it's all about team game. It's all about the way these teams isolate fights. And I wish they play together and they bring something really good performance back for India.
I'm hoping that's going to be the case, especially with the first run that we just saw, and then on the upcoming matches as well. I think they'll be able to bounce back. I have Godlike finishing in top 5, and OG finishing top 10. Dan, what are your predictions brother.
I mean, I just want them to do good because we don't know the struggle they have been going through. We don't know the grind, how much grind they have did. Everything answers only through the gameplay. I wish we get top 5 for both the teams. It's going to be a huge thing for India because again I said we don't get used to play regularly in these lobbies and we get more opportunities because of these boys and all these players watching from India, all these esports watching from India. They'll get inspired and they'll feel motivated to do more for the country.
100%. Shukriya, bye. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed the rest of the show, and I hope that the Indian teams continue to step it up. Back for some more pmgc 26. Great interview with Snacks Gaming. I'm glad that he was able to make it here to Paris, EWC 26 for PMWC, the grand finals. But let's talk about this game because S2G, we finally got a chance to see S2G the way that we have been wanting to, pretty much having to grind out that circle, having to push people away like they were able to do with Alula.
It was the Turkish combo right there. First and second place got Eva getting himself to second place. Finally, right, I can talk about it a bit later on. But yeah, S2G, beautiful fight. Also at Ula, there was Godlike, there was also Nongshim Red Force, and they were all fighting, vying for that one Harry Potter tower down on the southern edge. And overall, the fighting capabilities of S2G have been soaring in the finals, and we just see more consistency, which is what I was hoping to see from this roster.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoy right now the classic Kamikaze, which is economically known as just the full center as a one player, and they just dominate from there. The thing is, Kamikaze can get it done, which is super interesting. He just exerts a lot of control. Soul K from the backline from that anchor, super cool. Wouldn't call it a wombo combo. I wouldn't be comboing either with S2G. That's not fair. I'd have them separately. You know, S2G maybe up here, then either down here, something like that.
I feel like there was the only time I could really say it, so that's why.
Sitting there giggling at you guys. Can I just hand it over to IQ? Can I just MVP right now? Because holy guacamole, the clutch insanity from IQ right now. Obviously, you know, we kind of want the rest of Fourth Rise to join in on that action, but the clutch ability and also the decision making and the macro calls from IQ right now is insane. Also, the opening fights and frags that IQ is doing, obviously, saw on the rooftop. Just I think I blinked. I think me and Max just kind of blinked, and I was like, wow, that was the fastest kill I've kind of seen. But like, it's insane the performance coming out of a single player right now.
Yeah, we saw him being able to get first knock on Vitality. I ended up jumping off my seat, Max, because that was such a good opening, and it was actually the decision making, as you were just mentioning, Lace. The decision making from this was something that we keep kind of questioning, but they were able to just send it right away to Vitality without even thinking about it. They were like, why not? Let's do it.
Yeah, it was really good decision making overall. You get, we just traded all over the place. But it's lovely to see IQ gets that opening knock with an insanely accurate blood spray. Right? That was just a beautiful execution. And it was like, well, we have the man advantage. Might as well send it and actually get that engagement. So yeah, IQ just been spectacular, not just in terms of the eliminations they're able to get. We're just training everyone now still. But also in terms of the opportunities he is able to create for the entire team. And when an opportunity has been made, man, they just fully send it.
They fully send it. Let's take a look. Actually, I want to see Fourth Rise stats so far, because this team is one that has been picking it up so far today. They've been getting those eliminations. I want to see a little bit more placement points out of this one, especially for this last match. IQ. It's not just Falak too, Blank, because that's one thing that we always talk about for Thrives. Falak, who Saifa has been able to step up to when we ended up thinking about PMG. T24 is that player that just really hasn't been performing that well. I'm hoping is going to start picking it up.
I mean, T24 has always been a really good player, right, overall, which has been nice to see. But you're right, Huzaifa putting a lot of work here. IQ, you were talking about clutch ability with macro play as well on side. I mean, he's making some good calls right now. I think for this game, you're getting deeper and deeper into these matches. It's a really, really important thing for Thrives. There was a lot of love from the crowd there as well, which is great to see. Also, can I just say, why have you got a heavier mic than to all of us? Your mic, like, is... What, you on yours back? King Mike.
It's not talking much.
This one's like less. Ooh, yeah, this is light, you know, light on my feet on the desk. You can call this the desk. It's tomorrow on the couch. But yeah, overall, I think a complete review. Macro-wise, looking great. I do just want to kind of bring it back to Amber right now. They did drop in.
Max, don't leave me.
Sorry.
Hey, please go on.
Let's chat about Amber, right? We had a lot to talk about them today, didn't we, ladies? They've dropped in a sub now, Shallow. Milu's out for the time being. I think that the team definitely slowed down in a big way. It is hurting them a lot. We're not seeing those snap decisions anymore.
Yeah, it's not even like that they're trying to do something a little bit different. It's now just their strategy is not working for it's insane to see. They're still making the same strategies, the rotates. But when going into a fight now, they seem to be losing it, which they're playing the same game, but it's not working out for them. So I'm seeing I'm picking up what you're putting down here.
Me too. And one team that's been picking it up, especially here in the last couple of games too, has been OG. OG has been able to step up. We saw them finish the top 4 situation right there. And they've been seeing, we even saw them in Rondo being able to get eliminations too, switching it up a little bit more, using the Rondo since they're able to revive people, trying to be more aggressive, Max.
Yeah, I definitely did see the aggression we witnessed from them back in their respective group play. It kind of fizzled out. They've been more passive from time to time. No, here actually really good to pick, maintaining that high gun position up north and send 2 players down. I understand the reasoning behind it, but at the end, pushing that compound is incredibly rough on Ida as we check out all of the wins of today. But I do want to highlight here before we do wrap up this desk. And Ida finally gave up the drop on the Nima Galaxy. Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
It's good, right? You know, getting second place on the back of that is cool. I was almost expecting them to clutch up there versus S2G because that is very typical. Ida is just to get all the way to an end game and then just have a really silly win at the end of it.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm thinking about Pubg because I saw them being able to get that chicken dinner earlier in the day. But Ida, yes, I agree with both of you. I'm glad that they finally just stopped doing that hot drop and decided to change their mentality because they were in last place before they decided to make that change. One team that's currently not in last place and is wanting to challenge that first place is none other than Pubg, and I believe Kara's got a chance to talk to them.
Hey guys, of course I am down here on the stage with Ayala as I have him after this great performance here throughout day number 2 finals. My first question here for Erangel is, sorry, Miramar even I should say, in the second Miramar. You guys had great space control to be able to eventually get yourself to that win. So talk to me about that late game, what you threats in my face.
Queria perguntar como foi o jogo de Miramar para vocês, né? Ali no final, como é que vocês estavam se sentindo ali no late game? Qual foi a estratégia de vocês?
E aí, tudo bem? Esse jogo aí a gente começou perdendo o chifre, só que a gente não desistiu e continuou querendo. A gente jogou bem esse jogo mesmo estando em trio, então a gente ganhou os morros, foi jogando juntos e a gente conseguiu ganhar a play.
So it was a very nice play. We managed to get it through with 2 players, so it was really important for us. We made the right decisions, and we could get it.
Awesome. So let's talk about the Rondo for a moment, because that was great as well. You guys eventually entered into the silos, the urban area and things like that. And I thought you were going to be in a lot of trouble, but you actually looked amazing in that execution. So what were your concerns on Rondo? Who were you kind of looking out for, and how did you execute that?
A partida de Rondo também foi muito boa, né? Vocês entraram ali no silo e ficaram por ali, parecia que ia dar ruim algumas horas, mas conseguiram sair muito bem. Quais eram as suas preocupações ali nessa queda, nessa partida? O que vocês estavam sentindo?
Nessa partida de Rondo, a gente começou bem, fazendo mais kills no começo, depois fomos pegando mais kills, só que a gente errou em alguma coisa no finalzinho que a gente depois da play conversou, então tomara que nas próximas plays a gente consiga ajeitar tudo para conseguir ganhar esse campeonato.
So it was a pretty nice match. We managed to get some kills on the start and in the middle game. But at the end, we did some mistakes. But after game talk, we stopped those mistakes and we arrived better for the next ones.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much for joining me here, Ayala. That's it for us here down the stage.
Thank you, Kalaris, and thank you, Ayala, as well, for that great answer. And yeah, for this team, I mean, they started off hot today. This last match, though, ended up being a big old donut. I think they'll be able to bounce back.
Yeah, you may have your driver's license back. I will bestow it upon you once more because now the decisions to use the vehicle are working for you and not just going in there and seeing what sticks. But no, look, the elimination consistency from Furia is, you know, we always speak about it. They are a sort of an aggressive, dominant team. But now, you heard it from them. They're taking it there. They are moving a little bit further in placement points, which is exciting to see, especially on the map where they they got their chicken dinner and the way that they were able to just sometimes they just a little bit too happy, aggressive. They're like, you know what, we're going to create our own play. However, the patience that they are showing now, especially Max, it's just working for them, and it's a great Furia look.
It really is. I mean, I kind of want to go a little bit deeper almost on Furia in the sense that I was expecting Silence and Ayala to put up big numbers, which they still are on occasion, but I feel like Higot has really risen up the ranks in this tournament. He's gotten so many great plays. Sometimes where players will give him a lot of 1v1s, and you don't want to do that to Higot because you will get those eliminations if you give them that slightest opportunity to fight back. But yeah, Higot is looking great. So literally the entirety of Furia has that potential to be in the top 10 players in Sen.
But you got to remember, Igor, too, is a player that has won MVP in the past for Americas, too, when he ended up being in previous teams before joining Furia, right? So we know that he can definitely put up those points. We just want to see Silence even more. Silence, what's your pick for MVP? But let's take a look at the overall so we can see where some of these squads are currently sitting at, because I would love to see where Furia is currently at, with Arena still being in first place, the gap being there about 18 points from both esports.
I mean, for Ayala and Chief as well, like back in Liquid days, I think for, honestly, those boys, the big thing about their team play was that they locked down endgames massively. They massively locked down games. We're not quite getting there yet. We are slowing down, like you say, which is a very, very good thing to get those placement points on board. But I think that as soon as we start seeing Fury in those endgames, we're looking really good. Enigma Galaxy is still up there, all looking fantastic. I mean, it's more consistent than anything. They haven't really been a big driver in these matches, but sitting at 67 points right now, I think they can push that a little bit further. But Aurora slowly slipping down these rankings now.
Yeah, Aurora is starting to be a bit of a red flag for me as well, Lise.
Yeah, it's a little disappointing to see. They're getting active and busy in sort of these mid games, but they're not sort of pushing any further than that, and not sort of solidifying any elimination. It's kind of like I feel like Aurora and especially Off, they're obviously doing well. They're not on that same page, but I kind of feel like they're just sliding by. Consistency's there. I would say Aurora has dropped more consistency than All, for example, but I'm kind of feeling like they're grazing by.
I mean, Aurora, actually, if you compare the placement points to the teams above them, they all got wins, right? 1 win, 2 wins. Actually, the placement points I've had is just really the eliminations, missing out on second page. So teams
which is wild.
Yeah, it's starting to still linger down there. But keep in mind, Ida started the day with 2 points. Now they got 25. They're not in the bottom rank anymore.
Stop hyping them up. They've had one good game.
I got to praise them. They didn't hot drop. Okay? I don't want them to go back to it. Good job, Ida. Keep it up.
It's like kindergarten right now.
Yeah, fighting.
Good job. You used blue instead of red there.
Gold star. Yeah.
I mean, I want to see more Ida. I think Emre's a great player, but we have to be honest. We do have to be honest here about it, where it's not looking great. I'd like to see them push that a little bit further now going forward. But yeah, I do think they're a good team. I think they're a good team. It's just I want to see more out of them, and until then, I'm not going to be praising them for not hot dropping 3 times in a row.
I will. I'm still happy.
I know you're a lovely guy.
Hey. By the way, I want to say I'm a little bit scared for Ulf because then second place, they got the second place curve. They Sook 2.0, right? pmgc last year, pmg season 1, they got second place, right? Just behind the likes of 4 and just off Furia. Second place, and Ulf is not a great storyline. They're not friends, but they're still up there.
No. Look, I obviously on that same page, just want to touch on God, like, their close range battles, amazing. But unfortunately, they're sort of hanging around that engagement too long. And these are sort of in the mid to late games where obviously smaller circle, more teams, third parties are happening. So they're not still living this engagement fast enough and making that decision to put themselves in a nice spot. However, yeah, their fights, close range, mid range, in buildings has been so good to watch. And whether it be the whole team or just two of them, they do have that firepower and strength and they're holding on really well. So I do hope that, you know, after this engagement, they can move a little further in with their placement and just get those top fives.
Yeah, I think it's a great point. It is a great point that close range combat is really, really good. I think so far in the finals, FBAlpha has made the best play to date.
Yes.
His longhouse fight was just, he was a weapon in that moment, a deadly one of that. I mean, Molotov through the door. I think the impressive thing about that, it doesn't look amazing in the moment, but the amount of times teams will just yank that Molotov off the doorway and it will just burn yourself out. He ends up finishing Vitality with that Molotov, so it's like a lot of presence of mind in those moments, which is great. But coming back to your point, I think there needs to be, yeah, exactly, presence of mind going forward after that, where you want to take the next thing. I'm willing to give the team the benefit of the doubt right now. I still think they're trying to figure out pressure on the main stage like this, and it's totally okay. And I think they should be proud of what they've done. I think it's nice to see two Indian orgs like very different play styles as well. You know, learning the battlefield, and actually doing fairly good in it. I think OG as well is starting to level up. Aru's getting those eliminations, but so is the Tanky, and I think a Tanky was a great player.
That was the biggest question mark for OG, right? Wondering when the other players were going to start showing up, not just Aru. And I'm with you with during the Godlike and that Molotov. In that moment, we were all hyped. We were like, yes, that was an amazing Molotov because it stopped the other team from being able to just fully flush out the players that were not from him. But before we send it over to the next match, let's send it over to Kalaris and Neptera.
That's right, down on the stage here, of course, with Neptera, Goddess of the Sea, here as we've had 4 games down, 4 games to go. We're going to talk about some of the teams as well, Nep, as we had Furia, looking fantastic so far. Let's just ignore game 1 for a second. But other than that, looks really, really good throughout the day.
It has. I'm really, really excited to see what Furia is actually going to be doing moving forward into the next couple of games, because they are looking just so much better. Their synergy is on point. You can tell the communication is much better. You know, Ayala and Silence, again, in that Miramar, got to shout out them. They were looking very, very good. You know, just being able to play together and work around each other in a way that we were not seeing yesterday. So, yeah, I am really excited with them. They're being very decisive as well, using zone, using other teams. So I do like that a lot for them.
Yeah, listening to Ayala just before in that interview, right, very clearly that they were able to shrug off any inconsistencies, shrug off any kind of challenges that do come their way, have a little conversation about it, and then be able to get right back on the horse again to be able to put themselves in a great spot. So I think I've particularly been impressed by the fact that Furia, when they basically forfeited that fight on the Miramar, to clear out that west side was so pivotal to getting that win.
Oh, it was, and it was such great knowledge of what teams had to do, right? Not just worrying about their game, but also worrying about the other teams, what their options were in that zone, right? You know, they were making sure that SGD couldn't come around to the south side, or making sure Forest didn't push them either, that they were forced into each other. So really just narrowing everybody else's team, everybody else's options, and that is what I love in a team, is that team control, not worrying so much about themselves, but how do we make everybody else work for us?
Let's talk about one of the big names from the group stage, of course, 4 Thrives, that I know a lot of people are looking at and having big expectations of, and rightly so, considering what we saw from them in the group stage.
Yeah, I really am hopeful for them because, yeah, again, similar to Furia, right, 4 Thrives had a rocky start to the finals, but what we're seeing from them, particularly in that last Erangel, is they're starting to do their splits over onto that west side. They're starting to split up, they're starting to spread out, they're starting to take up more space, have a little bit more presence. To me, that tells me that they're feeling very confident now. They're starting to get that confidence back. For me, I want to see just a little bit more snappy action coming in. They need to make those rotations a little bit quicker. They need to make those plays a little bit quicker. The decision making, the timing has to be snappier for me, but otherwise it's just looking really much better.
There's been some good moments, but there is also the fact that this lobby has now leveled up even further. They were able to thrive in the group of death, no doubt about it, but it really has been quite the test here so far for them, especially when they find themselves in some of those split positions where, unfortunately, I kind of, again, like the Rondo situation, I think it's just a little too early to be there, and then eventually they get caved in on. Finally, let's talk about Flash.
Yes.
A team that had like big expectations as well coming into this tournament as a whole. Not quite got their footing underneath them, though. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I think I'm not sure what's happened, right? Because I did see them have they never had a huge presence. I feel even in the group stage, right? They were never this massive frag team. They always had this quiet dominance. They were always able to be in those end stages. They were always able to take home a few eliminations, even if it wasn't a podium win. And today and yesterday, there's not even that. There's nothing. They're playing very compact. They're playing very much by themselves. They're not really looking to other players. If players look at them, they're like, no, please don't do that. You know, it's just like it's odd, and there's just nothing in them.
Is it because Max took them to win?
Possibly. It is possible.
Yeah, possibly. Who just laughed in my ear? What was that? Was that our producer?
I think it was.
Even the producer knows about the Max Man curse. This is ridiculous. But yeah.
Infamous.
I think in the group stage they had some good splits and stuff like that, but yeah, we've got to get a little bit more in the finals. All right, it's time to get into our next game here. Game number 5 of the day here for PMWC Day 2 Finals.
Thank you very much, Lars Natura, down on the stage, leading us into the not final. There we go. Get ahead of myself. Good. We're on to match number 9. We're on our middle billing of Erangel today, and we have one more match of it after this as well, as we are near enough crossing the halfway mark of our day after this one as well. Of course, this will be the 4th match that we played on our big bumper bonus day of 8 matches.
Let's get into it. This Erangel is going to be a big one right here. We've already played 2 matches of Miramar. We had a Rondo, and now we are getting into our 2nd match of Erangel here. And it's going to be interesting to see just which team is going to come out on top, because we're starting to see a little bit of differences here, right? We're starting to see some of the squads at the bottom show up. It's good to see Ida make some noise, and honestly, if they were going to start making a run, now's the time. So it's good to see that movement happen. There's still plenty of games. We've seen plenty of times teams, boom, right, get back-to-back chicken dinners. And let's see if now is going to be that opportune time for Ida, now that they're no longer hot dropping in the Galaxy.
Maybe they're feeling themselves after that one.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go back.
Oh, that worked.
Yeah. Or hang on a minute. We're quite good at this. We're in that game. You know, let's go back and hot drop them, because we'll win now, right? Right? Oh. That's going to work out. Hopefully they stay away, but that might be good news for everybody who's facing Enigma Galaxy. We saw their 2-2 split out from Pachinki. Not really work out too well from them in that last game. The circle shift were very, very dramatic, I think it's safe to say, for the majority of the zones right up until the final one, where it started to get a little bit more sensible by that time. So many had already fallen into circle on those shifts, on those rotates. It was pretty difficult to even get to that stage. Many teams did. Path now setting down the east side of the mainland, going between Sour and Zerny and heading over to Novo, so potentially difficult to get out towards Akka. And you know, this is the sort of situation where I feel like Eden might just go back to Pachinki.
That would be a sight to see, that is for sure. But the planes in the air, the islands down below, Erangel's officially open for business. And oh man, if we see them go back to Pachinki, I know they can't, but they gotta adapt. You gotta be able to make those changes. They're able to push themselves outside of last place. 25 points on the board. If they get good performance here, they absolutely can make a run for it. But let's see what happens. You got Vitality already out, heading towards Calder. You got Aura going up towards yes, they're going east. Good play. Ida making some adjustments.
Oh, hang on a minute. Dark's going east. Okay, they're going for the Milton Peninsula, it seems. Going for a little bit of a split drop, sending Duck out, grabbing a vehicle to get on in and involved.
Little Milton power action.
Just because it's not Ida going to Pachinki doesn't mean anyone else can't go there, but I don't think anyone else has. So I was keeping track of that. That's a nasty circle for this sort of plane path as well. Does a lot of work to push these teams close together. Sure, it has some of the military base in. It's very, very unlikely. I would give it about maybe 10% likelihood that you're going over to that military base. which is it's non-zero.
It's not zero.
It's non-zero, but yeah, I feel like teams are going to really start to pack in around Quarry in about 5 minutes.
That's what I would do. Honestly, I'd probably make that timing a little bit shorter, especially if you're a team like Aurora, loot up military super fast, get moving across that bridge and secure those locations really early on, because with so much zone in the water, this is basically, this is essentially like a circle 3 at this point. There's not very many great spots available. You're going to have to get moving here pretty quickly. And you can also get moving inside the game and get yourself that Ninetales Fury Awe, guys. Go ahead and get in there quick. The Uzumaki Naruto event, by far one of the best collabs PUBG Mobile has ever done. Still around. Don't miss out.
Looking fresh. So if you missed the show match earlier, make sure that once this stream is done, go back and check it out. Yeah. It was mighty fun, and of course we had to let Alpha 7 win something, even though they didn't make it to the finals. Sucks for them. They were able to take that title there. The Hokages over on their own.
The Hokages.
In their own right. The little intro video as well. Revel looked super cool with that shadow clone.
Dude, that was the sickest
I really like that.
intro I've ever seen.
That was hot. That was hot.
Put that on the highlight reel.
Hell yeah, absolutely. Get it done. Nick Galaxy gonna be chasing down the truck, getting those supplies. Gonna be doing some very minimum weaponry there. Haven't been able to quite disable it before it leaves the city. The weaponry, come on. Shooting it as it leaves. They're dropping 1 or 2 more crates out. Finally, it's on fire. It's a little bit slow to get this one dealt with. But finally, they find some weaponry they can use at the back of the doors there. And they draw it close. So they'll be able to leverage that. Zones still looking very dramatic on the southwest side. Nobody quite on the road, but 4 Thrives went Primorsk very, very early, which means they will have the pick of the litter when it comes to taking position into this next zone. The question for me is where do you go at this point when you know that everybody's going to be flooding out this way? For me, I feel like potentially some of the compounds to the east mouth of Quarry could be quite good, but transition away from there can be difficult as well. And the reason I'm going for that is because I feel like I would want something that's at least on the south side, just in case it goes.
Sure. Yeah, I would tell about Fairy Pier. I think that's the strongest spot.
Yeah.
I mean, because you're right, that zone could, for some reason, it's been crazy today, right? It could yoink all the way back to Millie, and you have a decent spot to be able to get there pretty quickly. And then plus, if the zone does go in almost any other direction, you have that sight line of that field that's right above you. So you get a lot of work done from that position. I wonder which team is going to decide to take it early. 4 Thrives heading into Primorsk so quickly, though, I think is an excellent decision. Because if for some reason that zone does go to Millie, with Primorsk secured, they should be able to at least find some boats and make a crazy rotation on in. So it's not a bad idea.
Galaxy getting out nice and quickly. Notion Red Force as well, moving in a little bit further south of this, and they will start to line the hills just north of the Ferry Pier. It's like they are the first 2 teams to really make that break outside of their looting phase. And I'm expecting a response from 4 Thrives fairly soon, but so far hasn't really come on through. Ralph able to get a lot more scouting done than maybe he would have expected to. They managed to sequester themselves nice and deep in towards this zone, which is, I think, could play very well for them, taking the position just northwest of Ferry Pier.
For sure. I mean, this is still a very, very close game. I mean, second place on down, 1 good game. You could definitely see a team even like all the way down to 12th place jump up really quickly. E-Arena have started creating a little bit of a point differential, though, in between first and second. Actually, I wouldn't even say it's a little one. It's a pretty big one here. It's 18 points between first and second. So E-Arena are going to continue to want to press that on there. At a certain point, though, John, especially if we see E-Arena like pop off in this game, I think the lobby is going to have to start taking notice of it, right? If you want to be able to slow them down from setting that point threshold so high, I think if you realize it's E-Arena by getting at least 1 elimination on them, you may want to put a little extra urgency on trying to take them out.
Maybe, but then again, if you do that, you could be sacrificing your own point scoring potential.
True.
And like if E-Arena are that far ahead already to be into the situation where it might be an idea to do that, I feel like you're already running into a situation where you're just trying to get up as many ladder points as you can, right? You're trying to just step up, get from 6th to 4th, something like that, move those jumps. I feel like that's the sort of stuff you're going to do. Maybe if you're at the bottom of the tables, you could, but even then, laddering up is still very, very valuable. So I feel like, unless it's like first place is on 150, second place is on 120, third place is on like 90, even lower, that maybe then second place team can try and hop drop and go for something like that. If you have that sort of advantage, not too many more games left to play. But outside of that very specific scenario, I feel like targeting Arena, I mean, given the form that they're on, probably just generally a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna. I think hot dropping in general of them is just terrible, no matter what the situation is. I just think that if you just somehow see them, like for example in the feed, you hear the shots.
Sure.
Maybe you do a little bit extra to try and take them out as Godlike. Start to make some noise. There's S-Power with the run over. No fear getting it up, but Sleepy. Oh! We thought he was gonna get the thirst, but Godlike was right there to support his teammate. And a huge save there right on time.
Arena are looking to come in for the third party from the west side here. They've already got a scout close by and they've seen the elite feed lighting up as well. Man, look at the press with the nades. Good bounce. Finds Sky on the flush. Will Arena be here on time? Tiamba are going to join from the north side as well. Could have an impact as they roll up towards this engagement. A lot of players down. And there go. Horror taken out. Knocked for 6. Godlike able to send to the bleachers.
Oh, but here comes Tiamba looking to make things difficult for side. Godlike and Mino is stuck with QZZ right there. Godlike get that fight done pretty quickly, but they're gonna have to make a sacrifice. Oh, the tire busted out from Anya and take it out as well. So man, Godlike just not able to catch a break here.
Tiamba able to lock in with a good third party mentality. A little bit late to get involved. Arena wanted to maybe think about it, but they were too spread out on the western side, and so couldn't get involved. Tiamba were there nice and promptly. The circle, in the meantime, shifted back over towards the bridge. Very here is a hotbed right now for Thrive. Maybe bury the bruh.
Just saw Coops in the elimination feed there.
That's unhealthy. That's not good.
Here we go. Yeah, that does sound like the head gasket's in trouble here. As Zypa is pushing up on closer to Beauty. Oh, hopped in the vehicle, hopped back in. And now able to at least get a secure position. Ayala holding it down against fourth Thrives. It's a party at the beach. Ferry Pier is jam-packed.
Get your sunglasses out. Get your tanning oil on. It's going to get toasty very, very quickly. This team's crunch on in. You get a little bit of calm, though, before this storm.
Oh, I don't know. It's feeling pretty disturbed right now because everybody wants those central positions. But you're right. It does look like teams are able to secure most of them for now. Nongshim trying to get an opening knock here on OG. They got to be careful here. They're getting mighty close. Oh, Yunbin gets that opening knock. Nongshim, are they going to press this? Looks like they are. Yunbin, up close and personal. It's Nongshim Red Force versus OG, and OG are getting picked apart here. Aru's got to find a way to buy himself some time for his team.
Okay, well, I mean, a good answer over to Nongshim. That knock-over there is going well. In the meantime, Wolf lost a player. I believe that went over to fourth rider and very here as well. Sorry, get back in looking for those reses.
He's going to get him.
Oh, hang on a minute.
Power. Oh, it's Power with the double. Godlike from the other side saying, we need some of these eliminations.
Just a comment for Orangutan. It's Aru back, and S-Power says, you know what? My work here is done. Peace out.
See ya.
Since there are only 2 players staying there for too long, would diminish the power of the position that Salmo was holding, allows Kimber in for the north. They need to reinforce that, so the fact that they're able to extract points and let loose some of the pressure on that south side as well is excellent stuff, so he knows he needs to be prompt on that. The circle goes back to the mainland, so we are confirmed over there. Tiamba trying to leapfrog that godlike position. Looks like it's going well for now. He did as well, trying to send it from this northeast side.
Get S2G over there, but the Blues are going to have to come down that hill and find a way in. The things that's all open field there. You got Vitality holding the north side of the circle. You got one of the players from S2G is Kamikaze. He's trying to get some angles here, see if he can find at least a next position for his team. But Fairy Pier, like we mentioned, completely stacked. Take a look at the replay here. Zypha. Oh, nice shot there. And pick on Solus.
Yeah, I mean, there's a complete broadside there. No way you hide from that one. In the meantime, Nongshim Red Force trying to hold down the bunker. Puck's nose in. Will not like what he smells. A little bit too much cordite there in the nostrils. Emre does get flushed away. Nongshim Red Force hold the position on the east side of that ridge line that sits wooded and covered. They're playing on the bunkers as well. A really nice defensible position. Look at the teams out on the east side as well. You've got Eden, Flash, Aurora, Furia. All of them sort of holding each other at bay right now. So Nongshim Red Bull feeling very safe and secure for the next 3 minutes.
Yeah, the next 3 minutes is going to work out for them, but then things are going to really start heating up here. On the north side, you got S2G now starting to press very, very close to Team Vitality. Yep, Raze saw them, and they're going to be on the move here, possibly trying to avoid this by getting a more solidified position in the circle. Kamikaze just keep an eye on the side of Vitality for now. This is still super early here, folks. This is only stage 3, but we've just seen so much action to the chaos of that first circle placement.
Yeah, it was really hard to navigate towards it. A lot of damage inflicted, with Aura going down as well. We're down to 15 teams, a lot of raggedy squads on the cards as well, which makes things nasty for plenty of our players. Godlike and Orangutan, though, are both in central positions as their duo, which is kind of the saving grace in terms of survivability. We'll try and keep things going. Irene on the west side, holding around that quarry. They've left Schweppes actually onto the Primordial Hill on the northeast side of it to be that off angle for them. But they're kind of keeping out of it for now. They're kind of chilling on the west side. So Irene, we're still waiting to see what they've got for the rest of this game. Because their path forwards may lead them to clash with Vitality or with Godlike.
You can see Schweppes from Irene. He's all the way down in Fairy here. Just getting some sidelines, getting some intel for the rest of the squads. Got to be careful not to get too close to the side of Enigma Galaxy. I see Aurora Gaming. This is where this next zone's going to go, though. That's when the fight's really going to get started here. Zeol is going to eat a little bit of blue damage. He's keeping an eye on Flash. Yeah, he's trying to play this quietly, hoping to come this direction, but instead goes in the opposite. Next circle does pop on over and is heavily to the east side.
I mean, this is good for Nongshim Red Force, right? On that position. We were talking about that before. The fights on the east side will need to conclude. Yamba sitting in a might challenge on a right position, but it's fairly open on those hills. It'll be very difficult to hold. Fortunately, there's not too many squad around them. Nongshim put a player from Flash. They try to move in. Aurora taking a chunk out through Yamba. Now look to overwhelm. They've lost a player on the roll-up. Orangutan try to hold it down, but will not be able to face the might of Tiamba, who are fielding shallow now on the roster. Leaving Milu out. And he is not needing to get him back up.
Down to a duo. Eagle trying to get that first date off. He's going to be able to get it for sure. On over to Fairy Pier. Enigma Galaxy are set up. They're going to have to push to this next zone as well. Circle is closing. This is stage 4. The blue zone really starts to put in its damage here. Let's see what Enigma Galaxy decides to do. It looks like they're going to be most likely prioritizing the shoreline. That's why they're applying so much pressure to the side of Al-Ula. Quick ends up catching. Yeah, that's 4th prize with Zypha out. Yeah, looks like Al-Ula are going to be holding this very pure position. We've seen them do this before. S2G were able to bad beat them in that spot using those hovercrafts in a game not too long ago. So let's see if Al-Ula can turn things around.
Try and hold the west side. I mean, 4th prize, a little bit of a lost opportunity there. Remember how early they were in Primorsk Dukes, and they didn't manage to transition fast enough. Both Enigma Galaxy and Nongshim Red Force both got ahead of them in terms of getting to the positions in that area. It's a little bit unfortunate. I'm not super happy about it. And now find themselves in the middle of a fight that may not go their way with 3 full 4 squads. Sorry, both only have 3 players. So with 3 squads surrounding them. Luckily, they are in the zone, so they aren't super under the impulse to move, but they may want to.
Yeah, nevertheless, Looking over at E-Arena, top squad right now. So many points on the board. Nice point gap. Looking to make that and push it even further beyond. Team Vitality looking to make some noise on the north side. Everybody just trying to find their spot in this next circle because the next zone's most likely going to push north. And if it does, that is wide open field. Which S2G have a decent position. Tianba and Nongshim Red Force are pretty locked down. But these teams on the south side of the ferry pier, honestly, should already trying to figure out what is the path they're going to take into this next circle. And the only way they're most likely going to get there is through some insane shots.
I'm looking at the shaking and moving right now for the arena because now is the time that they need to transition into a pivotal point in this game. For the time being, for the longest time, this game just be on this west side, waiting, playing that edge, assessing the situation. Now they need to start to move forwards. That is not how you want to start it. Salme immediately goes for the fly, and he's punished for the moment. Don't think they've got an answer here. And they up and into the top for the window for 30k, doesn't connect. Zest Power hiding somewhere else to the building there. Will not find that fight. So E-Arena to lose a player here. I have great news for the team chase.
Yep, huge news. And Godlike now knows exactly who they're fighting and the importance of them taking this out. Next zone does go on over. Huge zone here for Tianba and Nongshim Red Force. That ferry pier heel is just so strong.
I kind of like this for Ulf as well. I mean, it maybe struggle to fend off all the teams in here, but once they're there, they have a fairly isolated area to survive quite deep into this match, but the transition over the hills can be very, very difficult, especially with two teams lining you up side to side. Vitality gonna have to make a break for it now, and they have to roll out from the north edge.
And they're gonna have to cross a lot of open fields here. This is what I was talking about. This zone is not very kind to those teams that were playing on edge position. Yeah, Team Vitality is kind of waiting to hopefully have these teams in the middle start fighting so they can, you know, get a free rotation onto this next circle without too many eyes looking at them. But it's going to be a tough rotation. Yeah, Razy's going to be driving right back. Say, guys, it's pretty jam-packed down there.
No bueno. It is no bueno out in that open area. Enigma Galaxy finding the back tail of Al-Ula and able to drag that one back. Claws does fall. As the E-Arena is still trying to dislodge Godlike. There's Power with the shotgun. Tries to find one. Steps into an aid, but not before getting a knock. Now it's all up to Salme. Has got an aid cooking. Still with Pinpool. Drops it down. Nearly finds it. As Schweppes tries to move up to support Tony K and get that res. S-Power falls. And Salme has Mormon now to handle. Gets first lick in with that shotgun. And Mormon has back up.
S-Power had that. It was such a fortunate nade there. Sadboy has the right-hand priority. That's what he needs. Catches it on Mormon and gets the knock. But great teamwork there from Schweppes to get the nice 1v2.
Enigma Galaxy could potentially roll out and try and third party, but in the meantime, Vitality crashing up on towards Tianba's position, playing beneath Nongshim Red Force out to the east as Vitality have taken a knock out to their western point. They are still 4 players alive, but the arena are rolling out now. They can turn their attention that way. Steps to a landmine. Plus sideways. Now goes another Vitality player. They are getting torn apart as E-Arena is end as well, setting a forward position. I don't think they're going to last much longer either. Trying to join the party. And Diambra now suffering. Sutton and Swain both on in the fight, taking huge swipes at this hole. Diambra may not have enough to hold everything off, but they will fight in a low towards Cedar.
It's an open field battle here as teams are starting to crowd on in. And this is looking like an absolute battlefield. Tons of nades going down, and down goes Vitality. S2G joining the battle. 2 eliminations to their name so far. And with that fight, all that commotion happening, it allowed them to be able to get a more solidified position in this circle. Great timing from the side of S2G. E-Arena are like, hey, I don't care about the timing. We're just going to push it up and hit some crazy shots and put everybody on notice.
2 teams crashing onto Diamba's position was enough of a smoke screen for E-Arena to be able to move up nicely. Despite not having one of the players with them, they are now on 5 eliminations. They pushed past the 90-point barrier now, Duke. Wow. It is a great result so far. 10 teams remain. but they're on the outside of the circle, and the Galaxy are going to cause problems. They've seen what's happened, and they think, no, this can't stand. No, order, and they find, well, actually, it's S2G who find a shot onto Schweppes on the backline.
Stop that, said Enigma Galaxy, and honestly, the whole lobby needs to start really worrying about E-Arena here because the White Rabbits are starting to run away with this thing. Remember, $500,000 for first place, $250,000 for second. That's a big difference here, folks. Now we're going to see Enigma Galaxy. They got that knock. E-Arena are outside of the circle. Tianba will be gatekeeping, and this is kind of a perfect situation for the lobby. Nongshin Red Force, though, gets super blessed in this zone. They are dead center. It's really their game to take advantage of here.
And they're really hoping that E-Arena goes down fairly soon, because then they can put a massive dent in the gap between these two squads. E-Arena, though, currently focused on Tianba and Enigma Galaxy. Enigma Galaxy find another knock, sending it over towards Schweppes. I don't think this is going to be reasonable. Mormon and 10K now, having to keep it together. Top of the 5 helium they found already. And Lost might have an angle on it as well, suppressing the angle, but Mormon goes down, can't hold face against Enigma Galaxy, and no knocks are sent their way either. Mormon gets flushed away as Schweppes does get back up. Meanwhile, over in very clear, Aurora, Alola, and Ulf all coming into the fight. It is getting chaotic down there, saying Messi as well. Turning K, the last stand for E-Arena, and then Enigma Galaxy have to push into Tianba. And nobody's happy in Very Pier either. It has been non-stop action for the last 7 minutes.
Fight after fight after fight. These zones, they can be so difficult. And yes, Enigma Galaxy are now on the push. They want to be able to finish E-Arena out completely. They don't want them getting any more points. And I believe, yes, with that nade, that's gonna do it. E-Arena finally taken out, but they still put points on the board here, John. So it's no matter what the situation, they are constantly moving that needle further and further and further.
Absolutely. But for Nongshin Red Force, this is a beautiful position. They were able to do a lot of damage to Furia, leaving them on one player alive. Flash are going to crunch in behind it. Potential to pick up there. Aurora are going to have to lead into the sightlines of Nongshin Red Force. There is a big healing potential gain here if they can hold it down, because they are in the driver's seat here and they need to keep control.
All these teams need it. They all need a chicken dinner and all the eliminations.
Nice.
That's beauty of God. Nongshin Red Force. Man, XCY, 5 eliminations all by himself. Gonna have to make a play here. He's got the shotgun, but the suppressive fire for too many angles make things difficult. Nongshin Red Force are still here though. Here's Bo's Team Flash. This day could be big. Can he thread the needle through the window?
No.
Oh, so close.
Not quite on the first. Another opportunity, F2G as well. Watches another one. No way! I didn't think that one went through, but it did. And down goes this Nongshin push. They flexed out from their position shoots. It felt like maybe it was the right time to do it, but they underestimated the chaos on the eastern side, and they let slip the strongest spot in the circle, and they will leave it all up so easy. A real big opportunity for them to put a massive jump up on the tables. They can still do very well from this location, but they have really had the juice squeezed out of them.
You're so right. I mean, they put good, solid points on the board, but it could have been a whole lot more, that's for sure. Let's see who can take advantage of these missteps. The Galaxy are still here. 4 eliminations. Aurora with 5. Big win here could put them all the way up to the second place very, very easily. Tianba right there close as well. Team Flash, yeah, with that last player, Bose, just trying to soak up anything for his team at this point. Next circle does go, and up, and it is going to be down to that southwestern side. Enigma Galaxy barely have a position here, but this is all open field. It's time to hit the deck and hit some shots. Satan getting peppered from both sides. He goes down.
He was waiting to take a shot over towards Tianba as well, but S2G take their turn at Tianba, but it's not going to go well for anyone, really. Enigma Galaxy trying to step up, S2G trying to move in, but nobody can find an opening thanks to the suppression from Aurora. Solke goes down, and Tianba are holding their nerve, but only one player now left standing. QZZ against Kamikaze over the bonnet, tries to find the shots. 3 rounds now left in the back chamber before the S12K gets the reload, but it's not enough. Kamikaze keeps S2G in there, and Solke get back to his feet. They don't have a lot of time though, the zone is moving in.
This area is looking like a dang blender. Shots happening all around in every single direction. You gotta find a way out though, as Doc now on the push, looking to shut things down, getting up close and personal, but it's Coops. Coops on fire, literally now, as those nades, Molotov, too strong.
No.
Coops by himself could not hang on.
And now Aurora ramp up the heat, turning up the thermostat on the lobby. But in the meantime, S2G, they may just get themselves back 4 players alive here, Jukes, which is kind of crazy, given the chaos that just unfolded at their feet. Remember, Tiamo over there, they were taken down just about with the assist coming in. And Nongshim Red Force still alive, by the way, with their solo player up and into third place guaranteed. It's a little bit less efficacious than they might like to be, given the position that they held, but they'll take it.
Huge game. Honestly, it's so easy to play this quietly. He can disrupt this pretty big time. But you can see S2G, they get the full reset, and we get to see them bust out the welding gun as well. So they're going to have their vehicle all set up. As far as when it comes to zone control, though, it's all Aurora. They had this entire zone locked down. The thing was, they had this advantage before against the team of Nongshim Red Force, and they lost that game. This is their chance to make up for it and secure this chicken dinner.
S2G, very lost, gets spotted. That is Nongshim Red Force solo, striking out wide. The point gets taken away from him, but diminishes the power of S2G. Maybe gives him a little route in, but already Aurora have flexed 2 players out. I think they're going to be able to deal with unless a nade lands on Top's head. Launches it forwards as he spotted it. Ooh, nearly, but not quite. Not quite. Has to march in, making the mad dash, and Top actually not quite connecting. Has another nade to pull. Top trying to trade it off, and Aurora can really sequester themselves into this angle. Doesn't spot the nade, goes right next to his ear, but doesn't quite burst the drum.
Prediction nade, though. They knew that he was going to run up, so he threw it ahead of him and got some really good damage on so easy. But he is able to get away for now. Here he goes. Here comes some more util from the side of Aurora.
They lost it.
They're spending a lot of time focusing on this one player of Nongshim Red Force who is refusing to go down.
Drops a nade right in front of them. Top steps up, nearly goes down again. They're having real trouble here, and SPG not really having an impact so far. The sun's starting to close all the way. It's so easy, just about holding on. Dear life as Reaper steps into the fight. DBS there in hand. Not quite enough, and down they go. Now S2G up on the chopping block. Looking to try and do something, but that nade is big. And the next one is bigger. Takes a huge chunk out of S2G. And Solke trying to stay alive desperately, but he crawls on the nade and it blasts his belly open. Aurora swing out from Ferry Pier. Find it, chicken dinner.
And it's about time. Aurora clutching it up. They wanted that chicken dinner earlier, weren't able to get it. But this one, they get that secure. So Aurora showing some serious consistency when it comes to Airgale here in day number 2. We still got 1 more left to go, and they are looking strong.
Absolutely. Great stuff. It's exactly what you want to see. It's been said of Aurora before, right, that they're a team that needs to ramp up in pace. They do need a little bit of time to get into gear, and maybe that's what we're seeing here, right? Maybe they are going to be able to find that ramp up over the next, the rest of the matches today and in the game tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's going to be right on time, too, because E-Arena have been extremely consistent today. Even when they went out now, they still put up 5 points on the board. So they're the biggest threat in this lobby here. Because remember, folks, at the end of these next 3 matches, that smash point threshold is going to be set tomorrow. Once those 10 points are crossed, the next chicken dinner, that is it. We will crown some champions. So E-Arena's job today is to just set that threshold as high as possible. And they're doing a dang good job of it.
They are, but even in that match, like a lot of the teams toward the top side of those tables were able to put up some decent games.
That's
right?
true.
You had Ulf, who was staying in fairly late, S2G fairly deep into that one, Nongshim Red Force. Maybe could have got a little bit deeper if they hadn't gone for that push-up, but still getting into third place into that match was really, really great for them. A lot of teams putting up big numbers, and sure, they put up 5, and I do praise teams for being able to do that sort of thing, but everybody is on. Everybody's hounding them down. So for E-Arena, it might be okay, but you can't have towards an air situation. You need to keep pace up. You cannot sleeping dogs lie, because they will find you and they will take you out of that top spot. It's all to play for. One more Erangel today before we move on to our final set of Miramars. Don't go anywhere.
It's time to introduce our team.
Obviously, I'm here to support God like esports. This is one region that was never considered to be very aggressive in general, but with God like esports, the thinking has changed and these guys have shown the character. Watching them perform on the biggest stage, I think it's a pride, a moment of pride and honor for us.
The team is like a very celebrated team in India. Like, it has a huge fan base, amazing lineups, amazing achievements.
Godlike got that nice nade off the top side from Adamino. Great stuff for Godlike to get some early energy into today's games.
Oh, boy! Wow, throwing that nade up the stairs, catches him off. Necessary's holding those angles. He's doing those high peaks. He's been throwing heat-seeking missiles all game long and opening the fight for his team. A full 4v4. S2G tried to catch a couple of their players off guard.
You can't stop S power. You cannot silence Godlike in this moment. Adamino for the golden play as Godlike take this chicken dinner with ease.
The most memorable event has to be the map of Rondo where Godlike came up with 30 points. As everyone, you should call our region as not so aggressive or passive, and a lot of things like that. But again, Godlike esports proved with their firepower and with their composure that we do have that firepower. We can also go for big games.
For us, it was like a very unexpected turn of event that we qualified for grand finals. Like, I don't think anyone in India or anyone in our team must have imagined us playing our first international tournament and straight up qualifying for grand finals. So when that moment happened, we all went crazy. Like, all of us, the Godlike family, everyone in India, we're all celebrating, and honestly, I'll never forget that.
The fans over here, the love for the game, it has been amazing, and we're having a good time over here. I always had this dream to go and with the IFBAlpha, and it was a dream come true moment for me.
Aurora getting a chicken dinner, but before we break down that match, we want to get the Club Championship update, and I'm joined by none other than Glitter Explosion. Some of you guys know her, Senorita Glitter. Tell us what's going on with the Club Championship.
All right, we're just going to do a quick update here because we've got some seriously cool stuff going on in chess. Obviously, grand finals here today. Third, fourth decider match also happened. That was between two Falcons players for third and fourth place. So it didn't matter who won. They were getting those third place points regardless. But now the finals are going on between Magnus Carlsen and Dennis Lazovic, which means AGAL have guaranteed themselves second place bare minimum. Liquid could get the win if Magnus is able to do it. But either way, that keeps AGL at the top of our leaderboard by 500 points. Now, it looks big right now, but over at the STC Arena, Falcons are still in the discussion. They're in quarterfinals. They will be facing off against Twisted Minds later on today. And if they're able to win, that's going to be another chunk of points in the favor of Falcons. So it'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
It will be interesting, especially because Aurora just got a win here. They want to be in the top 8 because they want to get those points as well. Before I let you go, any team that has surprised you?
I'm not gonna lie, I'm loving the bounce back right now out of Godlike. They put some serious Elans up on the board, so shout out to Godlike.
Hey, right on. Thanks. Actually, spot on. Thanks, Glitter. You can go back and just keep on looking for updates, okay? I want to see what else is going on with the other championships, and I want to see what else is going on here. PMWC at EWC 26, because some of these squads, especially Aurora Max, getting that chicken dinner. But before we even do that, let's talk about the PMWC Lucky Spin available now. You can check out the Electric Energy set, the Proton Power set, and also that Alien Fusion Grill set, which I want. And I'm still trying to get, and I'm going to continue to try to get. So make sure you guys check that out. This was co-created with the creator Nana. Make sure you log into PUBG Mobile, get that lucky spin before it goes away to get your PMWC swag. But now, Aurora, yes, that's right. Look at this man. This man is absolutely ready. He's been cheering for the longest time. But Max, we got a chance to see that play that so well too, and just pretty much like a boa constrictor, just squishing everybody in.
Oh, yeah, like a snake. Well, they weren't really snaking in, actually. They were just dominating and eliminating everyone. But, like, finally, no throw from Aurora and Eptura.
Yeah.
They made it. They saw it through until the very end. And we actually see Yola, that I said, he was very impressive. I wanted to see more from Rufus and Doc. We finally got it. Rufus for eliminations, Doc 3. But in particular, what's very important is that before getting onto that bridge line north of that road puncher, they eliminate every single team down. They get rid of all the stragglers. You had Ulf, you had Al Ula, you had Fourth Ride, and you also had Nongshim Red Bulls at one point. Get rid of all of those players before playing that bridge. That was so well executed by the boys.
Yeah, it was really nice to see that, and also learning from the Rondo, right, where they just played it way too slowly. Yes, they had more terrain to work with in this game, but you could see the momentum. They just went from 0 to 100. Once they had gotten cleared everybody, gotten all of those eliminations, they moved in and tried to corral S2D. S2D let that happen just a little bit. I would much preferred a better fight from them for sure. But for Aurora, that was much better, much more what we're used to seeing from them. This is a herding team. They control teams. Teams don't control them. And right now, this is controlling teams.
I literally wrote down on my notes that, SUG, they looked really good at that sort of northern side. It should be a nice one. They've got the hovercraft,
exactly.
But no, I have to agree, Aurora made that incredibly well, and they were able to take that time to make that spacing. But also, did you notice, like, Nongshim so easy, causing a little bit of chaos as a solo player between these two full teams? I mean, that was kind of crazy to see. I was looking at S2G, obviously, I had that, they were denying the flank from Flash coming around to them. They had a nice 2-2 split on that north side. So, okay, with the hovercraft to bring that up again, but yeah, a little bit rough for them. So the way that Aurora were able to calculate that with a little bit of annoyance from Nongshim, so easy, great play.
Talking about Nongshim, they were able to put up some good points as well here in this match. 13 points as well with S2G, 13-point match. Which one are you looking at? I see you ready to talk.
Yeah, because Nongshim, for sure, they get themselves 13 points. It's eliminations, 5 placement points. I feel like they threw that game. Generally, I think they could have at least bare minimum gotten a top 2 in that position, if not an actual chicken dinner. But then Furia, which is not Longwood, they're not even on the dip on top of Longwood. Then like this one shed on a little plateau below them. And they get an opening knock, and I'm like, okay, great. Nongshim Red Force maintain the pressure, maybe chuck a Molotov or grenade. They fully crashed the shed, and then Flash like, what the hell are you doing? We're just going to do a counter grenade and Molotov. And it's what the entire Nongshim Red Force, if they just held their position, they would be where So Easy was. You said So Easy was trolling. If they had a full team, they would be giga trolling. But I feel like, yeah, Nongshim Red Force, sometimes they get great games, and sometimes they do some of the biggest fumbles in a tournament. It hurts. It really does.
I think it's a great example of something that happens at every level, as we're seeing here, right? Where you get tempted to actually full send into a position, but you gotta really think about why that team that you're fighting fell down so easily. Generally, because the position is bad for one reason or another. It's very constricted there. There's a little ridge around that shack. It's very, very nadeable. Lots of areas to bounce that utility off. So if you're gonna push something like that, or if you're fighting against, hang on a second, if you're fighting against them, right, you don't push that, because then you yourself get nadeable as well. It's very nadeable for a reason.
Yeah, that match was perfect example of what can happen whenever you end up just catching up even more to that first place. The Arena ended up getting 5 points. You can see Aurora Gaming just jump up to that second place with 81 points. What was a 1 point and 18-point gap to that second place has just now closed up to 9 points.
I'm so happy to see it, because we saw throughout the entirety of the day, right, they were a podium team at the very start, slipping, getting almost nothing done. We're in 8th position before this game. Now with that chicken dinner, rocketing right at the very top here, just behind E-Arena with 81 points. Literally the only team single-digit points away from our current pack leader of Arena. But the thing is, very flash in the pan right now. We need to see more consistency and especially not throwing games when you know you can get those wins.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. We have one more Erangel and then 2 Miramars as well. Aurora tend to do quite well on Miramar, typically. So we'll see how that goes. Again, yeah, they can be very hot, very cold. So it is just down to game by game what they're going to do. But we're looking at the second page here. Flash and Horror, 48 points each. They are looking tied right now, but there's quite a bit of a gap between them and 4th Thrive. So even further down the leaderboard, we're starting to see those gaps emerge.
Yeah, Lace, for some of these teams here in the second page, I'm going to be keeping a close eye on them because at one point, we're going to have to start cutting them out because that point gap is just too much. And keep in mind, going into tomorrow, that Smash roll is going to be a play and it's going to be plus 10 points of whatever first place ends up with.
Yeah, and it's strange because, like, I know me and Nepturo are having a look at Godlike, right? And they're making such calculated and well played. And then I even sort of said, God damn, they're so strong as just a little duo. Why don't they just kind of go in that little map and do their thing? It's just unfortunate, you know, they were getting like 7 Elans in that spot, but just not making it any further. And I sort of touched about that on the shared studio on the couch. It was like they're getting some of these great, like, French fights, capitalizing it, winning it. And then, like you were saying, moving back in and not like other teams are sort of circling, they're doing that too late in the game. But I do feel we've seen it before. Aurora just did it. They can just have the great game, and that will push them up a lot further because they're getting the elims. They'll be able to do it.
And they definitely need it, especially where they are currently. We embrace them in regards to the performance that they have had today. But we need to see a lot more out of Godlike because they're truly so far away from the first place. And at the end of the day, you want to be in first place. That's what they're going to be hunting down. By the way, special shout out earlier on to Hot Jukes and John for casting those first 5 games. But now it's time for the main show. Yeah, I still got you, baby. For Blank and Jackie Blank. You got me. Come on, man.
Oh, mate. All right, that's one hell of a setup. Thank you, Seven. Appreciate it. Some great points being raised there. Indeed. That's some good breakdown. Got all the fans, of course, enjoying themselves. Saw it over there, the I Love Massman sign. We don't have one of those, unfortunately.
We've got love for snacks right now, which is cool. We've got OG and Godlike behind, which is always good to see too. The support is unreal inside the arena at the moment. As per usual, it has been awesome all the way throughout the tournament, but we do have a lot of people with us this time. So we're going to get loud, we're going to get a little bit crazy with it because I imagine to finish off the day, it's been a long day. Alright, we might have some mad circles to finish things off.
Yeah, do you reckon?
I reckon.
Should we make sure there's still some good energy left in the crowd?
We could try, yeah.
Right then, Paris, a few games left to go today. Let's see how much energy we've got. Let's make some noise in the building! All right, that's what I wanted. Proud of you, Paris. You've been killing it here at PMWC, and we'll keep the commentary flowing as the games go on. We can lock in as we start to get towards the end of the day. It's been enticing, Blank. Some good quality PUBG Mobile coming out, but I'm excited to see if there's any more twists in the narrative.
That's what we're looking for. We're looking at some twists and turns at the end of the day. Some mysteries yet unsolved. As we do get back into the thick of it, we're going to be on to Erangel one last time before we head towards our final 2 Miramars to close out this mega day of PUBG Mobile. Again, like we said, Paris has been fantastic. You guys have been fantastic. The fact that you've been with us this entire time, supporting the teams the entire time. We've heard the drums, we've heard the excitement. The drums better come back. I'll be sad if the drums aren't in the crowd.
They're ramping, mate.
They're ramping. They're getting ready to go. Doing a couple of paradiddles here and there. Got Ralph on screen. Explain to his team that they're definitely not getting hot dropped up for Chinky. It's not happening again. He just had a good game now. Like maybe we were the problem.
Yeah, maybe we don't do that anymore. But honestly, I think it's a shout. I think, you know what, 4 different members of the talent team spoke to Ralph about that yesterday. We were kind of making sure we can get that one across as many ways as possible. It seems like the message has been sent out.
Yeah, it was like, it was coded through Ralph for Ada.
Yeah.
So, what do you think about that? Ralph was very pleasant about it. He was like, I don't think she be doing it. Like, well, he's getting points. Yeah, they were. I mean, I think there was about 12 elims off the back of it, which is kind Classic. Honestly, it's a good amount of points. We did get our playing from the south side all the way to the north. You see there, Aaron and Scarface currently topping the league in terms of damage, which is a surprising statistic for me. They've been very, very consistent throughout. I'm glad to see Aaron there. Hasn't quite beaten out Scarface just yet, but I'm glad that Scarface has been the rock so far for all. He has kept that team steady throughout. The suspension system for the ULF vehicle, which will need to make a move down towards the south side of the map, but it gives a good game here for Aurora, who have been baiting us for multiple years for a massive win at an international, and they might just be giving us it here at PMWC at PWC 2026.
God, we keep getting these sort of circles, man. Once again, right, you hit the nail on the head. It's happened. So it's not good military island in play. Like you said, maybe this is the blessing. Like perfect drop spot, perfect end game potentially for a team like Aurora, who do feel like they've kind of locked it in a bit. So we'll see with it. Potential for a lot of early fights. Got Flash taking on OG early. Arrow's already down. See Amber amongst it as well. Couple of squads looking to get stuck in instantly then.
The revolver to the double there. Well, unfortunate for guys over on OG. Flash seems okay though. Get themselves back up on their feet. Like you said though, we've got Aura on screen. Eagle. Explosive. Oh, almost hit it as well. A little bit of pinpoint accuracy with the arrows. Jiggle. Dropping some ammo across. Everyone's a little bit low right now. Level 1 vest, a little bit difficult. Might be nice just dropping some of the bandies over. Well, Sleepy is having a troublesome time getting towards them. I think he's in an awkward spot. Sky, though, is coming in from the other side. I think it's over towards the north side of Severny. So this is a long exit for both squads. I don't think any team wants to be here. Tiamba, as well as Aura, stuck in this awkward engagement. Eagle with a honey badger at distance on the sidelines. E-Arena also swinging by, but they should get gone.
Very much an early stalemate that no one really wants to overly commit to. With that first domino to fall, it's going to be a nightmare. You're going to get out of this very cleanly as well. Losing one or at worst two players, even if you do take down the other squad and get a full 4 points from it, this is going to be a major detriment to your run with how few games we have left today.
Yeah. Well, I think the big thing, though, for this in particular, is the playing back from the south side up towards the north. And because we had this big southern circle that is pretty much committed to southern, guys, this is not going anywhere else.
Yeah.
It meant that a lot of teams dropped out early on the playing back to get looted up early. So you do have the likes of STG, Aurora, Fourth Rise, Ida, Alula, as well as non-Force already in Sosnov. This place is getting very busy very quickly. Tiamba moves up, the Horror's already themselves in the vehicle. Uzi in play, tries to get damage across. There will be a shot from Shallow though. Really good stuff there with the QBZ. Some damage in. Jiggle. Line and wait. Could be a dangerous trap in play. QZZ trying to get around the side. Eagle will just run down Sleepy. They don't know. They do not know. He is hidden, blending into the rust.
He's got to wait for this for so long. He's just there, down on the deck. No one knows about Eagle.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Side arm.
There's... Are you blind?
He's a master of camouflage. That's insane. Wow, they actually leave. They actually go.
That's wild. We're playing some kind of game where you go in as a small, light man and you have to be painted against things. He's done exactly that.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe he's become the chameleon in that situation. That's wild. But well played to him.
Yeah, mega mechanics there.
Only mechanics.
Artistry
He's proned. That's a lovely prone. That is a beautiful prone on him.
Got away with that one. Liberties. Absolute liberties.
To me, PUBG Mobile Chameleon, right here, right now, at PWC. You want to get yourself some skins to allow you to blend in. Well, this is not the one for you because the Uzumaki Naruto event is now on with the Naruto character set as well as the Ninetales Fury Org. And it's Power bringing a lot of fury to the lobby at the moment as well. Talking to Max earlier, saying that Empire right now probably the only
player at a massively global level. And I would agree with him. I think he is on the likes of your Monmouth, your Errands. He's looking insane. Yeah, Verstappen doing great work for the rest of his team. I think Godlike has really shown that they absolutely can take the task with some of the best squads in the world. It's cool to see. Satan here from the Galaxy. Another team that's doing really well too. I genuinely think, and I said at the start of the day, is I'm not always been the biggest fan of the Galaxy and some of the pushes, some of the rotates they make. I think they have a lot of potential in them. This tournament, though, has been, it's been off the walls, just like this, because this is wild.
It's just ridiculous how close he came. We drove past him twice.
Switching as well.
Yeah, I know. Not even fully stationary. Look at him. He's got a slight shifty look about him.
Put the laser pointed at the ground. It's like, oh.
Nightmare. They're going to see that.
Put that away.
Well, hey, that one worked out. Didn't expect it, but master of camouflage.
He trying to give himself away. I mean, the laser point, really. That's enemy. That's good. Oh, that's a big last right there. A lot of teams not getting in position though. Fury looking across. Haven't had a really bad day today, honestly. I think genuinely Fury has been looking better and better as the tournament does go on. More shades of the pass from them. Him and Mai they look very, very strong there. And they're bringing it back. I think that they just had to slow down their gameplay a little bit because their end games are nice. That's where they typically thrive. But now they're coming up against Alula, the Claws versus the Panthers here.
Giving us the proverbial question of which set of claws are sharper.
Are they both depicting Panthers though? Because that would be...
Maybe a Jaguar.
Maybe a Jaguar, yeah. Like that.
Keep guessing, you know, out of the Animal Kingdom. West Power with a nice little lift there. That's a 5-pointer.
X5 on that one. A lot of airtime.
It's a great multiplier.
Great multiplier. I like that. Anyway, we get next circle.
Oh. We've seen this before.
You didn't hear. I don't know if you could hear that, but it was audible disappointment from the crowd. Everyone was oohing and ahhing at that one. Does head out fast towards that west side. Really uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. Ida's already a good spot, though. The rest of the team, I would probably say to try and regroup soon, though. Nongshim Red Force has played a similar position to this in the past on this exact spot that Tizzy is currently actually located on with XZY. So I think they'll just try and secure that going forward. They might even try and take the compound of Vitality one on during this map before as well. We'll see what they do. Can't be too greedy though, because again, like I said earlier, it's very busy in Southern Oklahoma. A lot of teams here.
It's going to get pretty aggressive down there when things do kick off, especially with how the zone shifted, man. Cutting out a lot of that play space one sketch. You're fighting around the bridge, fighting on the island. Like you touched on, even just a couple minutes into this game, with how close they were off playing part. A lot of squads did already make their mass migration down and start trying to dig their heels in a little bit. You've got a few squads still outside in the mainland towards the blue, having a bit of a slow rotate. A lot of traffic as well on the bridge over to Sosnovka. Fury there as we saw that establishing shot with Lula just ahead, guarding the entrance. Some Vitality behind them, similarly Flash behind them as well.
Yeah, Fury's getting squeezed like a fruit right now. It's not looking good for them. They're getting pushed down by Vitality and Flash behind that as well. So this is a awkward approach they would like to get across, but I don't think Alula's going to let them across so easily. Eagles is far up though, so he just needs an opener. And Alula looks to be leaving. I think that's the correct decision at this time, just because the circle did push so far over towards the western side. You don't want to get left behind. Arena still being here is somewhat of a question mark, but if they knew they could hold out a team over towards the Fox compound, sure, why not? It is quite cruel towards TM, but this is the name of the game. You pick up the points where you can, and right now Arena's doing a good job of it.
And Tourniquet that up on the top side of the rock, face banding down into Aking, and will leave him wounded off the back of that. You see Z already knocks the rest of the squad following in their footsteps. This is a brutal start for the Amber. One by one they fall. So Arena find them outside. dispatch them with ease. Another 4 points on top. That's a 94-point total over the course of today's games.
It's a strange one, right? Because they both started up over towards Sverny, Didora, as well as Tiamba. Tiamba swings wide over towards North George. Splash to take knockdown, probably a flush to this is over towards Pipe on the bridge side. We'll come back to Tiamba just a second. Axel low, crazy, on bended knee. 890 in play at this stage of the game as well. Good to see.
Trying to run back through, but Razak just goes straight into the crosshairs. And 1x1 is looking a bit more uncomfortable. Nice backstab though from Axel. Quick switch over to the shotgun through the window. Throws the first man down on the deck. Still has some firepower to play with. Zone nipping at their heels. Razy out of the running. Razy down knocked. Axel looking to defend. Throws the nade deep. Thankfully for Bowser, he was able to reposition. That wasn't going to hit him just yet. Ooh, it's close to the distance though. Want to really get in there. Oh wow. My god! Response back from Axel's quick. He can get the meds in as well, Black.
He should just about hit this. It's close, but it's still back up again. We'll go for the result of Razak. This is a good recovery right now from Vitality. Sad for them. Aura has made an incredible run down from that northern side. They are fast in position. Bozy is down. Enigma Galaxy currently holding out Ulf. Ulf up on high. Cage has no idea. Caught in the brook side. Will get taken down. A lovely refrag coming through from Aaron. Ulf likely will now play on As3. Look worse and worse as time goes down. Lord the only to fall here, and Ulf has been very much struggling to pass on by through Enigma Galaxies. The circle in the meantime did move further down towards the south. IQ taking a tumble though. What's happened there?
Yeah, this is not the dream at all. Looks actually trying to dismount towards the top side, so maybe they do win out on this fight. Somehow they can grab him back up. The read on Scarface, Proud aggressively counter. Bullets being peppered. He gets him so dangerously low, but he's still standing. He can just tuck in behind the box now. Oh, well. That would have been the operative words. Could have tucked him behind the box. Not going to happen now. Laid out by Ralph. To tamper re-aggression as well. And this is starting to turn. That's the way Ulf go down. They started out with a bit of a recovery, but finally finished by Enigma Galaxy. One player cut short from the roster there. They'll carry on as a trio. Meanwhile, amidst this, we have Vitality bringing the thunder back onto Aura.
It's been a while since I've been seeing Vexy on the main stage, but still got it in him. It seems Razak does go down, and looks like Vitality might want to be making the cross going forward. Looks for Sky. Vexy will pick him up, doing a great job here. Settling in Federalis. Oh, I mean, good job. Really, really well done here from Vexy. I mean, multiple times keeping the team awake and in play, even versus Flash earlier on. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah, big step up. Brilliant individual moments there. Zone crunching in a little bit as well. Ooh, Vitality suffering casualties, it seems, with the Elim feed lighting up. That Flash that are trying to defend the entryway over the bridge. And a headshot top to shut down Vexy after the good form we saw from them. And Axel has fallen due to the damage sustained. The zone eliminates him. Vitality finally buckle.
There wasn't a lot of boat rotates from a lot of these teams on that north side. Spent a long time looting up. I don't think they were quite prepared for how southern the circle was going to end up going and how quickly space was going to be taken out of play. We are in a really awkward arena of the map as we head down towards the southwest side. There's a couple of compounds around here, a lot of open space going forward. Ralph moves up to the plate here. Tanny K goes down first. Good shots from him. Will finally fall there to the sideline. Mormon just cannot hold on. In comes Godlike. They don't care, they're going straight past.
We hear Godlike theme music start playing. They cash this one in. They drive past, steal Elim's where possible, but focus on the bigger picture, getting into the zone. And starting to advance into an actual controllable position on this one. Could get right back towards it.
Okay. Like a friendly handshake there. I felt like I was into the cellar for a second. Yeah, Coop looking further. It's
to pick up his teammates, but actually went back for some more. Sun, I think, is back up again. Not sure about Ralph. I think Ralph could fall down, but this has been a really good game from Ralph. I think it's not, I don't swear, but he's been making some good flex outs this game. Sometimes his flex out can feel a little bit questionable. This time I was super happy with them blasting the co-caps off of Scarface as well. It was really incredible to see. Just gave it one more bullet, and that was enough. Hezaifa up on top, godlike, tried to send it. Got further in, but Hezaifa laying down the law.
It's a great peak. Might actually be able to double down. He certainly will. Godlike eating the bullets from the elevated peak. There are 4 fries as Hezaifa starts to bring the heat to the battleground. Enigma Galaxy got back in towards the zone. This is their POV now. They actually run into either of all teams once more. Coop's going to be hit by the Jotty. The pump takes him down. And that's the way that one goes. Unraveling them. Either eliminated with Flash falling amidst all this. But Aurora getting eyes on it from so close. They were able to steal a couple points away. But Enigma Galaxy back down in the dirt. 3 healing points on them.
I still think, though, for Enigma Galaxy, what a game, honestly. It was a real tough scenario they went through. They end the match on 10 even. I think that's a good profit. I think you come away with this and think to yourself, we went through hell and back just to get towards this location of the map, and we still came away with 11 points total. So, very, very well done. Because we do only have 6 teams left at the 17-minute mark. This is the quickest we've seen the lobby cold before, off the back of a really horrendous circle. S2G set themselves up, kamikaze as per usual, flying in towards those front lines.
S2G just cleaning house on Alula. They've gone down pretty swiftly. Ooh, Furia might actually get a bit of a read on this, though, with the forward scat we've got Mayala in the back of the vehicle. So a lot of sightlines being opened up between our squads. Aurora still got space to play with. In the grand scheme of things, a little bit quieter on the Elam front for non-shooter, but they're still in the running of the conversation. They've had some good consistent finishes today. It's felt like it's all been coming together communication-wise when they get a good angle to play off in these games.
Well, Hyunbin's basically the crowbar of South Korea right now.
He's been cracking these lobbies open.
He has been cracking the lobbies open. It's good to see. And I think the rest of the team rallies around that. So easy. He's been very, very nice on those long sight lines. We've got to come up against Aurora, though. Aurora's starting to really feel it. And despite having a lot of weird finishes, where second places, where they should have won, especially versus Nongshim Red Force earlier today, they would have been far and away at the top of the leaderboard. Some moments where Aurora just can't quite finish the job. Even then, the consistency has been good. So an impressive showing from them. But we have that rivalry back up to bat once again here between Nongshim Red Force and Aurora. The shots coming from the sidelines does make things awkward.
Oh, nade right over the top. That's Doc that looks to hit them heavy. And Doc fired up, mate. Aurora might keep pace on pretty swift on this one. Fury just off in the distance. Haven't overcommitted to anything just yet. Hyunbin still up and kicking. They got height on it. Just can't really afford to overextend too far. Get caught sleeping. This could be a big unraveling for that side. Tizzy's got to bandage himself back up to stay pretty in the situation he's been left in. Aurora are aware of that angle from Furia, at least. 3 smokes for Tizzy being the difference between a raw face from Refirst potentially coming their way.
I think the problem right now is absolutely that angle you're talking about between Furia over towards Aurora. You've got Top off in the distance there, currently holding on alongside with Zhol. They look to make a move out, but Furia had that angle on. One player very low in the back of the vehicle. I believe that is Zhol at the moment. Can't quite find the next shots, and Isla's playing it very safe. The angle over towards this way, but Tizzy with nasty nade goes straight through side mirror window.
Oh. Response back over, they dash some nades to their own on target, but it's actually a response from 4 Fribes. Pulling up to the party, looking for third party on this one. Aurora trying to withstand. Nongshim going down as the last man, and so easy would collapse from it. Doc already piecing out. Ooh, mate, that's the rotate straight into the Camp Furia.
That is very on point for Doc.
He's got that Doc in him.
Yeah, that's the brand right there. Moved instantly over towards Furia, held that angle, made them feel a little bit afraid, right? S2G still got Kamikaze swinging, layering in vehicles. Circle moves up towards Kamikaze. You can hear Turkish fans for S2G a little bit loud themselves. Z finds a shot towards his eye, but that's on the roadside. A horrible time for it to happen. But it's all popping off now. Reaver's up first, nade in hand, looking over towards Isla, very low. Chief pulled the pin, but a little late. Solke runs through the both of them.
Oh, mate, the car's done enough just the bonnet. He's dived out with the shotgun in his hand, vehicle burning behind him. Squad mates falling around. Shot speed spam, quick turn. Finds that one, throws Fury out of the running.
This is the best Solke's looked in quite a while, actually. I think that he's getting a little bit more of that aggression on board. I think a lot of times he was relegated to being this anchor player. So it's nice to see him, channeling a bit of that Silas going forward as S2G. Gets the ambulance out, pulls out the rest of their team, gets them res and back up into a position to fight. Not taking any chances on this one. Went out for the first aid kit. Unnecessary first aid kit in the moment. The med kit taking him to full requires Doc to put a little bit of extra work in.
I'm shocked he survived that long. Reefers had the peak up at first, left him sweating bullets, like you say, clutch kill, barely buying him enough time to stay along for a few extra seconds. Now knocked behind the vehicle.
It's a bold maneuver from Solke, but it does drag him from the rest of the team. Likely leaving S2G as a 3-man. They have the compound central. See where the next circle heads over towards. They can play off the back of that, but it's going to be Aurora. 4 thrives, ping-ponging between one another. Takes some hot shots at S2G in the meantime.
Hard to confirm with nades thrown over, so much so that Doc nearly went down from the danger close to his team. Luckily does have the meds to fix himself with no one nearby to convert from the lower HP he had. You're spot on, mate. We heard the excitement from the fans. You can see why S2G, they were playing with some confidence and aggression. Previously, it's been Kamikaze who rests himself in those situations. This time around, he played close to the squad. They control the compound, but you're going to be pushed from 2 sides.
Difficulty with this compound as well. There's a lot of space to control here. There's a lot of space to control. There's some flat walls to work off the back of. The teams could send in over towards one side, and having a 3-man inside there means they cannot control every building effectively. So these 2 on the side here, this is over towards the eastern edge. It's that on Aurora's angle. Possibility to move in. Oh, S2G's just got to be very quick with this, but as soon as someone makes a move that compound, the other team's going to fly on in. They're likely just going to wait this out until the circle confirms it's a definite compound finish.
Don't invest direct into one basket until you know. A few seconds out from that zone crunching, we'll see if it's a favor. S2G once again shifts slightly off the flank, pulls away.
It's nasty up towards that north side. Aurora looking to get a chicken under the belt here. Would likely slingshot them up towards first on the rankings. Despite what has been honestly a hairy day for them, it really has. There's been some moments where the question marks have been flung out left, right and centre for this squad, but still, they've been keeping themselves looking pretty, bandaging up between matches.
Blessing of it as well with the zone shifting. That crate that came in, you can see that Topico were able to push over, get an early duo onto that, grab some extra bits and bobs to armor themselves. What could be quite an intense final fight once they now get attention from 4 Fridays and STG. They've got a full 4-man squad, similar, 4 Fridays, and they're going to jump in the vehicle, start to advance on this. Oh, that's not what you want. Reefus with a snapshot. Falak falls instantly. He's got some cover to play off here in Woblank.
T24 is just out. He said, I am not being able to get anymore. I'm dropping straight to the ground. And I think it was the correct choice. Being on the back of a buggy like that makes you a prime target. And he just realized that Reefus has got the golden eye there. Quick shots, pinpoint as well as IQ. He tries to swing around the side. This is a mad dash and one that will not work out in the face of Aurora. More points added in S2G and do nothing but look on. They actually get themselves into vehicles. They're going to swing out. They have to take the moment here into their own hands. Last game, Aurora, they were able to do some good work versus they're now looking to actually show some aggression. Reefus goes down first.
Good engage. But how long can they hold on? Kamikaze in the back wants to arc the nade over, has the SMG to play with, one front right back towards him. Dark putting them down with the DPS. Panic stations for Aurora as everything is being thrown at them. It's a heavy hit, but he's still standing.
S2G down to 2. Hamzy G on the north side. Kamikaze lighting them up. T24 still off the distance, dealing with top here, and Kamikaze takes nade after nade. This bounces, should go a little bit long here, keeping Kamikaze at half HP count.
Oh, T24 as well in the midst of all this. That's the off angle you touched on there. Would strike for the side. Kamikaze replies with one of his own, and these two teams are coming together to make it uncomfortable for Aurora. Doc with a nade, trying to cook that one. Meanwhile, they respond back onto 4 Thrives as they throw that in. T24 behind the tree.
Doc now worried. But the difference between two players here, easy to regroup. Another nade in the hand of T24. Sends it across. Doc is down. Never mind, falls to the nade from across the way, but seems like he lived it. S2G playing the game of their life right now. Such a quick swing, Jackie, as well. Love to see it.
This is huge for them. Completely different play style. The confidence out in full force. Right time, right place, and the back door has worked out well. Top trapped T24. Spamming so close to him. He knows he's exposed. And this duo from S2G looking to take this one with force, but they still play it smart.
Across right now, trying to nice sideline. Aurora top, Willie trying up the shots are coming through. Kamikaze once again straight center. It starts to work out. Nate gets close. The lovely bounce from it won't go quite far enough. Back behind the crate. A little bit of cover to work with, but S2G, they've got 2 angles. Top gonna have to play out of his mind to make this one work here. One first aid kit ready to go. Hamzy G looks to send the knock over the top here to finish off the game. Goes wide to the side.
He's really trying to run a risk on this one. He peeks through the top of the crate, using the smoke to block the angle from Hamzy G so we can take an isolated fight. He's reading it as well. This 1v2, like you say, it's got to be impeccable from him. He cannot afford to miss a single shot. The reaction's going to be there. Kamikaze on the road. Slight height advantage. Throws in the body take. No. Oh, that's how he gets it done. Kamikaze cleans up. S2G minutes.
Last game, S2G. They look a little bit short there, but this game, they go Kamikaze for the finish. What a game. Not lazy whatsoever with a quick swing out to the side. You gotta love it. You gotta believe it. S2G is here to play.
We thought it was Aurora about to blot out the sun and cast the shadow, illuminate the stage, but no, it's S2G that once again prove how much of a powerhouse they can be here in France.
T24 as well, man. They jump out the buggy to sit down on the floor. I couldn't believe that. I mean, he made a quick snap decision. Like, lads, I'm gonna have to live this game out. I'm dropping into the grass. I'm gonna cause problems.
You feel the energy in the arena as well. We get the replay from that one. Some big individual maneuvers. I love the strategy as well, Blank. S2G, the way they were able to control the situation, knowing they had to be so proactive, but didn't overstep the mark. And then on the flip side for Aurora, you're playing with dice, gambling on some of these peaks. So realistically, it's a risk that you have to take. It's not an easy 1v2.
It was actually a very difficult circle. And yes, it pulled away, but they were unsure where they wanted to fight out towards. And maybe they have to full commit over towards 4th right to clear that angle sooner to deal with S2G. But again, for S2G as a 3-man there, they make the only decision they can. It's been something they've been saying all tournament, is we just don't care. We will just push those angles. We will try and get something done in those end game. And it was lovely to see them prove that immediately after that last game, that they sort of just laid down over on Arangel. Didn't quite let that game fall into hands. This time around, they leave nothing up to chance.
I think that does summarise the play style realistically. This point in the competition, after so many play days, so close towards the real big picture. Eyeball looming over you, you can't afford to have any doubts in your mind. Leave it to another team and your dream could be snatched away. Whereas X2G, they've been rising to the occasion. That little killer instinct, that's what's giving them these leg ups.
Absolutely, and again, for S2G, he's not even their best man. They live it on Miramar. This is where they usually thrive. So to have some good moments here over on Erangel is lovely to see. Again, a couple of our teams really making their mark right now. 4th Drive still playing really well. Honestly, for them, I think even that early game where we saw Hazaifa playing the big Lions Rock, where he could just have that oversight, knew exactly what they had to do. As teams flowed in just to ignite them. But we do have Claris over on the stage for a little hit the players.
Here report from PUBG Mobile here for PMWC, and a major problem has occurred. It seems we've let one of our commentators out in the wild here, and we've got to actually wrangle him and get him back in. So it looks like maybe a little bit of movement's going on here, actually. I don't know if they're actually going to be able to capture. This is the problem with commentators. A lot of the times, they're just so wild. They somehow get it. He's on the move. He's on the move. Okay, now we've actually got to be able to try and find him with this bottle here. He seems to be hiding. I'm not exactly sure if we'll be able to capture him. Jen Specimen, in fact, actually has a microphone already. You can see he's dangerous. He's very dangerous. He has a microphone already. That means he's actually ripe for the commentators already. They might be able to actually capture him here. They've got him cornered a little bit. I don't think he's very interested in it, but he might take to it. Let's see if we can place down some baits or something like that. Some bait actually might be able to work. Usually the kingdoms are the prime meal of a commentator here for PUBG Mobile. Will they be able to make it happen? This is a tense moment. John Allen. I think they might have it. They might have it. They might have the John Allen. It looks like. Oh! Did you see that? Get a close up. Get a close up of that. I think they've got him. I think they've got him. Unbelievable scenes here at PMWC. Oh, that was close.
Adam vurma. Araba diyor. Araba sürüyor. Araba patlatmak. Araba arıyor. Araba sürüyor atmak. Araba sürüyor atmak. Araba sürüyor. Oyuncu bay bay. Oyuncu. Araba giderken vurmak. Drive'da adam vurmak. Headshot. Arabada giderken drive'da headshot atmak. Can bir. Arabayı ne araba sürüyor o zaman mı? Ben. Takım arkadaşı. O. Düşman. Tamam ikiniz. Yatışıyorsunuz.
Tamam.
Fight'tasınız.
Cross koyun.
Cross koyun aynen.
Tamam. Sen
Baitlemek. Baitlemek aynen. Ben bildim baitlemek.
araba sürüyorsun. Evet.
Durdum. Benzini bitti.
Benzin mi?
Ben.
Acil yani. Kaptan.
Info.
Konuşuyor.
Analiz. Info almak. Analiz. Boş dolu info. Boş.
Boş ev.
Boş loot.
Rus sağlık.
Pusu yemek. Pusu mu?
Bak yine.
Ev boş diye gittim de nak girin.
İyi abi. Evet.
IDL. Haritadan.
Şişo.
Alan. Bir alan orası. Alan orası. Şit attı.
Şit attı.
Arşiv. Arşivde.
Arşiv.
Tamam.
Dur aldın.
F5K. Silah aldın. F5K. Hafif makinede. Skoplu. 0.
Thompson.
Iron sight. Dürbün.
2x. Tamam dürbün. Bir şey. Beline koydun.
C9. Ok, abilet oku.
E90.
Uzi.
E90.
Vektör. Kapıyı açtım.
Loot aldın.
Dürbün. Skop takamıyorsun bu silahı. Doğru mu?
FBAlpha Is down on the stage to talk to Nongshim Red Force. You've been here to talk about some of the games from today. First questions first. I want to ask you guys about the previous airing now, not just this one. You guys pushed Furia. Talk to me about that decision and if you'd have maybe done differently in another scenario.
현민 선수 첫 번째 질문은 일단 이전 매치를 좀 가볼게요. 사실 그 전 에란글에서 유리한 고지를 좀 먹고 있었는데 아래에 있던 퓨리아를 이제 잡으려다가 좀 판이 좀 아쉽게 돌아갔거든요. 그래서 퓨리아 때 좀 어떤 콜이 나왔는지, 퓨리아를 밀러갈 때 어떤 콜이 나왔는지, 그리고 만약에 그 판을 좀 다시 하게 된다면 좀 어떤 콜을 내렸을지 좀 그걸 묻고 싶네요.
일단은 저희가 오른쪽에 한 팀 더 있는 거 알았어갖고 좀 한 팀 도전하면 한 팀이 더 올 거라는 거 알고 저희 팀원이 1평을 둘을 입혀서갖고 잡은 게 맞는 플레이인 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I mean, we already knew like if we're going to push Furia, then the other party would come. So we tried to push it as fast as possible. But I think I think we'll end up in retrospect, I think we should have just let him just use that one big place, and then just we can hold on to our spaces and much use it wiser.
Okay, so let's talk about the Rondo game, because that Rondo was amazing from Nongshim Red Force. So, talk to me about any potential threats that you had to consider whilst playing out that game, as well as the end where you were able to pull off an amazing victory.
이제 런던에서는 사실 정말 키를 쓸어담으시면서도 치킨까지 가져가셨는데 그때 좀 어떤 마음가짐으로 플레이를 하셨는지, 그리고 부담감이나 압박감 같은 건 없으셨는지 궁금합니다.
부담감이나 압박 같은 거는 없었고 일단 교전 부분에서는 저희 팀이 가장 자신있기 때문에 쫄지 않고 자신감 있게 했던 것 같습니다.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't any pressure at all. Honestly, we were very confident at our team fights. So yeah, we tried to get it head on, and then I think that worked really well.
Thank you very much for joining Hyunbin. Thank you very much, Maddox. That does it for us down on the stage.
Thank you, Kalaris, for that interview. Marathon of a day that we're having here, as this matches have already been played, and S2G has been able to go now back to back with those chicken dinners. We still have 2 more matches to go here, but honestly, S2G, this bounce back out of them.
Quite literally a bounce back. All these nades coming in clutch here for S2G. Very, very good sign for them. They're climbing up those ranks. That should put them theoretically in that first place, but we'll wait for the overalls to confirm that. But it's looking very, very good for them. With just 2 more Miramars to go, S2G, they are a Miramar team. It looks like, hey, maybe we'll have another. Oh, we already do. Well, no, that's the match ranking.
No, that's the match ranking.
Whoa, hold up.
I'll give you a chance before or after this to do some prediction. But yeah, S2G putting up those 19 points. Aurora Gaming, though. Aurora Gaming, I can probably end up guaranteeing it that after this this match, when we do end up seeing the world, they'll probably end up being first match.
They go from 8th position, then of course they get that huge game early on their angle. They gave themselves 2nd place, and now maybe the jump into number 1, which maybe it's
the most Aurora thing we have seen, right?
Yes, it is the most Aurora thing, and you know what's also an Aurora thing to do? After that, dropping down to like outside of top 5.
Wow.
I'm just saying, before they could do it again here, but overall some of these players are interesting. But I want you and me to break down what happened here, because you and me, we're talking about some of the finishing moments here, but this 4th push in particular to the western side, I feel it could have been executed way better on Pakistani end of things.
Listen, I was on the edge of my seat screaming at the television because I was like, okay, guys, they just need to hold, go up on around to a third-party position. They're playing this very, very well. The zone just goes complete opposite, and they're like, absolutely not, you're not getting this win. I'm like, okay, this is tough, right, but they could still make this work. And then they just do nothing with it. They wait far too long. The indecision is right back where we started. And to top it all off, rather than making a very decisive play and just full sending it, they stop really, really short, slow down, allow Top and the rest of Aurora just to go all over it. You know, no, you're not coming over here. What were you even thinking, 4th prize? And honestly, I have to say the same thing.
I mean, really, you hit the nail on the head right there, which is they slowed down. And that was the big mistake. At that point, just capitalize. Even if you eliminate it, I'll respect you a lot more for at least trying to go the entire way, because if you do so, you get rid on the western side. I think it was Doc and possibly Top at that point. Get rid of those 2 players. Guess what? Got decent dip to work around. It's still not surely going to get the chicken dinner, but at least you have that opportunity to go the entire way and actually get yourself that chicken dinner. So 4th prize, still good points on the board, but they could have gotten a bit more in this match.
Yeah, they could have gotten a little bit more. And once again, that indecision, you guys highlighted it too. I just want to back up with it, because that's been the biggest question mark for this team for 4th prize. We've seen good performances then so far, and you know what? Let's take a look at it again, because you can see right there when they are stopping, that's when they question themselves in the turn. Now, we were all hoping that they would just fully send it.
And you know what's crazy? T24 actually got a solid finish. He tried his best from that position. If they had just gone a little bit further, kept 2, maybe 3 players up in that position, Top would have had a real run for his money. As it was, T24 was making it very hard for Top to even survive as far as he did. So, yeah, I think it's such a wasted opportunity from them just by slowing down the middle of the field like that. It's far too open, and Aurora of all teams is going to be all over that.
It's still a team that feels like they're getting their bearings, especially here in day 2. We've seen a great performance, though, and a great switch to 4th prize from what we saw yesterday to what we're seeing now. More players are performing. It's not just block. Now we have also seen IQ earlier in the day as well. I want to see some of the other players being able to stand up. It's Aurora Gaming. Jumps up to 1st place. Arena goes down to 2nd. And what happens when you go back-to-back chicken dinners? That's right. You jump up that leaderboard and you end up in 3rd place.
We're seeing what they did in their group stage. Literally, same thing, right? Coming back is just easy to stand at the bottom. Otherwise, 2D are making it happen for themselves. Arena still getting a few points pretty consistently throughout the day, but when you get bangers like that from Aurora Gaming, oh my goodness, they're looking fantastic with the elimination in particular. We saw yesterday from Niptra, some points are fine, but the eliminations, they were a little bit lackluster in some of those matches. Man, they're putting a big number after big number after absolutely big number. Yeah.
It's the momentum that we saw yesterday from that one Erangel game, right, with the 2 hovercrafts. STG just bullying the lobby with those. No hovercrafts today in the same fashion, but still managing to get that chicken dinner back to back. That's going to be looking very good for them there.
One thing actually scary right now, and I'm starting to realize, and I know we're going to joke about Aurora, the inconsistencies that we have seen out of this team, but for this team, one thing that has been consistent for them is their placement. At one point, we're going to critique where those LMs are going to be coming in. Their placement points have been there. The eliminations now are starting to get picked up here in the 2nd day as well, and this team is looking like a team that wants to become a champion.
They're like 4 placement points away. S2G, they got 3 wins, by the way, which is an insane ratio to have. So definitely
Aurora only has 1.
Exactly. They only have 1 chicken dinner, so that's some very consistent stuff on board. I'm looking at a team that it's kind of the opposite from Aurora, which is both, right? They had a massive rise. They got that chicken dinner with a 4-man finish on Erangel, and after that, they're 2nd place, falling down very slowly. Now in the middle pack, but we on the 2nd page, big upsets. Tiamba just not able to maintain that top position, which is heartbreaking for this team.
Tiamba was one of those biggest question marks for us, especially because of the way that they ended up performing yesterday. We saw Millie able to pop off. Today is not the same performance out of the squad. We knew that they have the fragging power, but those placement points were just non-existent, and right now, nothing's going their way.
Nothing is going their way. I mean, you're seeing them there with 9th place, there 63 total points, 14 placement points.
You're going to go with that catwalk again. This will be the perfect time.
Not this time, maybe later. But yeah, no, the only thing we can hope to see is that they come back tomorrow stronger, fighting, able to do what we know they can do. I mean, they go into teams and crush them in second. I mean, it's easy for them, but just not today. It's just all over the place. Yeah. Tomorrow's a new day.
It is. I mean, I'm looking at a team particularly on the second page that I've been a little bit disappointed by is Vitality. After their opening day in the group stage, I was like, Vitality, we're looking so good, so much domination. Everyone looks so good. They even swapped out FBAlpha, right, for Vexy, which I was like, that was quite an interesting decision to make. But man, oh man, that was really just a flash in the pan. They have that one insane day, and of course it's hard to replicate, but they're not even getting close to their initial performance on that opening day of their group. I would love to see him back from my boys, Razy, Zach, but so far it's been a bit of non-performance in the finals.
Another team along those lines as well is Team Flash. Team Flash has currently been non-existent for this squad. In the last game, though, I do want to highlight something for one team that was able to perform well, that was able to put up those points, and it was none other than Enigma Galaxy. If I'm not mistaken, Enigma Galaxy ended up with 10 eliminations, and that's good because that's a squad that has been consistent now 2 days in a row.
It is, yeah. They had a really nice 2-2 split on the southwest side of zone.